as an ACCA tuition center, and then subsequently got registered in 2017 or so. We became a platinum ALP. I guess the most important thing is over this period, number of years, we've trained well over 10,000 students, and we've produced well over 1,150 affiliates. Affiliates are those that have finished their ACCA qualification and are awaiting their membership. We work with employers of choice. All the big four firms actually do that do sponsor their students through the ACCA qualification work with us to help their employees, relevant employees through that journey. And obviously other institutions as well. And I think what excites me about, Ivy League is how we help, our students actually cut through some of the most important challenges that they face throughout this journey. Ivy League has been quite adaptive to changes that have happened since we started as well. I remember prior to 2020, we used to be a face-to-face learning provider where students have to come into our premises for their lectures. But then, nobody was expecting COVID. So that happened and we had to move online. And so for a couple of years, we provided lectures both online and face-to-face. Students had that flexibility to choose what they want. But then I think about 2 years ago, we made a decision to go fully online. So we are now fully online, except for a few classes, weekday classes that do happen, or face-to-face as well, depending on students' choice. ACCA support is end-to-end, from registration down to practical experience requirements, EPSM module, and even other relevant qualifications and, project mentoring as well for the BSc designation. So it's really a place, a one-stop shop for everything you need to earn your ACCA designation and related qualifications. So I think pretty much I will then at this point hand over to Chinedu. I'm not sure if Chinedu is around to talk us through the ACCA diploma in IFRS. And then as we have on the agenda, we look at the BSc designations degree as well. We have just about 2 hours for this session, so we are hoping that by 11:15 at the latest, we should be done with this. So I please encourage you to stay behind, take notes, ask questions. If you've got questions as well, you can drop it in the chat area. We will be monitoring that as that goes on. And then you can also raise your hand, and when it's time for Q&A, we can call on you to unmute your mic. And also, please, because we want this to be participatory, we have not muted all participants ourselves. So please ensure that your mic is muted as we go through these sessions. And if you want to ask questions and we call on you, then you can unmute your mic and ask questions. Thank you once again for joining us. Chinedu, I'll hand over to you.
Thanks, Jay, and good morning, everyone. My name is Chinedu, and I'm a member of the Financial Reporting and Corporate Reporting Strategy Business Reporting faculty in Ivy League. And I must say a warm welcome to all of you once again. So we're just gonna quickly talk through diploma in IFRS, and that's the certification that deals with a fast-track program to understand the working knowledge of IFRS without necessarily undergoing all the series of trainings in ACCA. So the diploma in IFRS would be able to help you to understand the detailed information about IFRS, how that works. You don't necessarily need to undergo the ACCA exams step by step. So it's going to be a one-off exam. So when we talk about IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, we are referring to the set of standards issued by IASB and ISSB. IASB is International Accounting Standards Board. They issue the IFRS accounting standards. And then the ISSB is International Sustainability Standard Board, which also issue IFRS sustainability standards. So IFRS sustainability standards have now been included as part of um, the um, the syllabus of diploma in IFRS. So by the time you undergo this program, you would be able to gain that knowledge to understand how IFRS accounting standards work and also how IFRS sustainability standards work. So this set of standards are what we refer to as IFRS. Now, who is this certification meant for? The certification is meant for professional accountants with ICANN qualifications and even professional accountants with ACCA qualifications, but probably qualified a long time ago, and they still want to refresh themselves on the recent developments in IFRS. They can come back to take this program. It's also meant for auditors, tax consultants, in professional practice that desire to understand how IFRS work because they need it to be able to audit to carry out the financial statements audits, right? Finance leaders that also require a form of brush up in one way or the other, and then any other professional that desire to understand how IFRS accounting standards work and how IFRS sustainability standards work. So this is really meant for everyone that have one responsibility or the other in the financial reporting landscape. Now, talking about diploma in IFRS itself, like I mentioned earlier, is a one-off examination. It's just going to be 3 hour, 15 minutes computer-based examination, and it's examined in June and December of every year, right? So you'll be required to pay a one-off registration fee to ACCA of £30, and then the exam fee is £135. And of course, for you to be able to pass the exam, you require a minimum score of 50% for you to be able to pass the exam. Now, how can we assist you here in Ivy League? Of course, we're still going to be able to talk about how we can assist you here, but just to quickly mention that here, we have assembled a team of professionals as your tutors who are well experienced to deal with everything that have to do with diploma in IFRS. We designed the program to be specifically targeted to diploma in IFRS, such that by the time you complete your studies with us, you will be ready to write the exam. So we are deploying, which we've always deployed in the past, a blended learning approach that will require you to watch the videos, which will accelerate your own learning process and also designed to help you to learn at your pace. And at the same time, you will be able to solve a lot of past questions, which would help you to simulate a number of questions you'll be able to go through, and of course to prepare you for the exam. So just to let you know that you are at the right place, Ivy League is well prepared to help you to navigate the challenges and be able to pass the exam at the end of the day. So at this point, I will now hand over to would that be you, Shay?
All right, you're handing over to me.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, Olumide. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chinedu. I want to believe that I am audible. I want to believe that I'm audible and everybody can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you once again for taking your time to join us. I'll be speaking through getting a BSc through ACCA, as ACCA also a part or a route for you to get a BSc. Like Mr. Shea said at the beginning of the meeting, he was talking about the ACCA arrangement with OBU, which has been helping students to achieve a BSc in applied accounting, which is coming to an end next year, May. However, he also informed us that ACCA has already also, joined a pact with University of London. So I'll be taking us through these two programs. So OBU is actually Oxford Brookes University. Is one of the highly rated university globally that is domiciled in the UK. They have a program with ACCA that allows an ACCA student who had completed the skill level module to write just a project and get the BSc. This collaboration allows ACCA students to obtain an internationally recognized BSc. This program is done twice in every year. It's done twice every year. So first submission will be May. Second submission will be in November. So how does this work? Every ACCA student that are registered with ACCA are qualified to write the project, submit the project for a BSc. Even if you joined ACCA through the ICANN route, what you just need to do is to forfeit 3 of your skill level papers to be able to get the degree. Why do you need to fulfill these papers? Because there is 330 credits that are awarded via the ACCA. The 3 papers are also important for you to do. So this 300 level credit, this 300 credits is combination of all the papers you've written in ACCA, then 30 credit for the project you are going to write. So if I want to, for example, I want to get a first class from this OBU, now what do I need to do? So I need to ensure that I maintain maybe 65% pass upward to be able to get the degree. Who is eligible? Like we said, every ACCA student, you are eligible as long as you have passed all the knowledge level and the skill level papers, and then professional ethics and professional skill module. Once you've done all this, you are eligible to write. What are you going to do? You are going to pick a topic of your choice, guided by our Ivy League certified mentors. Write the project, submit the project, and then once your project is marked, and then you get your BSc. How do we help? How do we help? Like Mr. Shirley said, we've trained over 10,000. I would also be glad to tell you that we've also mentored over 500 students. We've over 500 students, and then we've produced first class. A lot of first class have been produced by Ivy League with this Oxford Brookes. So what do? We have mentors who will guide you. We have mentors who will guide you on how to put your project together, how not to do, what can actually reduce your points. Then we also help in mentoring the project. We look through your project, certify that is good to go, and we will also because when you write this project, you were supposed to do like a presentation. So we also help with this presentation, and then we also assist you the administrative responsibility, we also help you to do that. Okay, how do you submit? How do you upload? How do you make payments to Oxford Brooks? So we guide you on this. So if you are willing, and I believe you should be willing, this program is rounding up this November, and May is the only window that is available. We want to encourage you to actually take this bold step. So thank you for that. I want to move on to the other BSc opportunity that is within the ACCA. Yeah, so recently ACCA signed another MOU with University of London that will give our students BSc in professional accounting. This program will start next year, March. That's the first window. However, registration can start now, although the official application is open on the 8th. Students who are willing to can actually start talking to Ivy League now. This degree is, we all know University of London. University of London is an A-listed university. It's a certificate to take to anywhere, and then you will be highly recognized as an accountant. Yeah, so eligibility, who is eligible, who can take advantage of this arrangement with ACCA and University of London? Yes, every ACCA student. Every ACCA student, once you register with ACCA, you are qualified, but there are conditions. The condition is the fact is that you must have completed your applied knowledge papers. You must have also passed your skill level papers. By applied knowledge papers, and we mean business and technology, management accounting, financial accounting, corporate and business law. Skill level papers, you must have passed at least 4 of the 6 skill level papers, which will be corporate and business law, financial reporting, taxation, and audit and assurance. So you may want to ask, for those who are already in the ACCA ecosystem, you may want to ask, what about performance management and financial management? Because the regulation in the UK requires a minimum of 120 credits points for any student to have a degree. It is mandatory that you will be writing performance management and then financial management with London University of London. Even if you've written it at ACCA, that you've passed it at ACCA, you will be required to write those 2 papers. So for me as a student, if I want to save cost, what will I do? I will not write, if I've not written, I will not write the PM and FM in ACCA, because writing PM and FM with University of London already gives you that exemption with ACCA. So if you've written it with University of London, it will count as an exemption for you with ACCA. So once again, eligibility, you must have completed your skill level papers and at least 4 of the skill level paper. I mean, you must have completed your knowledge level papers and at least 4 of the skill level papers, excluding PM and FM, which you will be writing with University of London. This is also open. It's also open to members. This is not prospective ACCA student or current ACCA student or affiliate. Even if you are a member, you have finished your ACCA, you are eligible to write. Just that you will be writing those 2 papers with University of London, PM and FM. What is the structure of this BSc? Like I said, PM, FM, and a project. PM, performance management, financial management, which will give you about 60 credits, and the capstone project, will give you another 60 credits. So you are writing 2 papers and you write a project. What is the duration? How long will it take me to complete this ACCA London University of London BSc program? It will range between 1 to 3 years, depending on how, talking about this part of the world, depending on funds and your personality. By your personality, I mean how fast you can, you can write all the papers that are required. So if you've done your skill level papers, you only have PM and FM, you can actually achieve this within 1 year. But if you have to start from knowledge level to get to that point, you just give yourself between 1, 2, or at max 3 years. Okay, is this qualification we're talking about, is it recognized? Is this qualification a recognized qualification? Yes, it is a recognized qualification, and it is recognized globally. It is recognized globally. Like I said at the beginning, University of London is a first grade university in the UK. So their degrees are recognized everywhere and anywhere in the world. What is the mode of study? University of London is in the UK. I am in Nigeria. I am in Kuala Lumpur. I am in Uganda. How do I achieve this? So you can actually achieve, it's online. You can do this online. It's a full online program. And it is also supported by recognized and approved teaching centers like Ivy League Associate. We want you will be able to come into class, be in a classroom, have the classroom feel, which in my opinion, I think is very, very important for some students who struggle with discipline of taking online exams, online courses. It is very, very important. Even for those who doesn't struggle, who have the right discipline, you can't take away what's coming together with, especially when you are going to write a project where you share opinions, you share view, and all that. So it is very, very important. I would want to encourage you, if you want to go on this route, I will encourage that you join Ivy League to help you with this. So once again, it's fully online. We can also assist you with the registration. You can do your registration online. We can help you to fast track your registration, then also prepare you for the exams. The exams are written online, and they can also be written offline through University of London approved exam centers. How are these assessed? You are assessed based on, like I said, online and center based. Then the final project will be submitted directly to University of London. So our able admin and support team will also be available to support. If you have any query, like it's been said at the beginning of this meeting, please put your questions down. When we get to question and answer, we will be taking your questions, and we are also available after this meeting to take your queries. So we'll move to the ACCA qualification ACCA qualification structure. And this is talking about reason why we are actually in this meeting. How do I do this journey? How do I go about this journey? How do I start ACCA? What I don't even know anything about ACCA. This session will help you to understand how you will do this. So ACCA qualification actually have three stages before you become a chartered chartered certified accountant. Before you become certified, become an affiliate, then move on to be a member. These three stages are applied knowledge, applied skill, and applied strategic professional. Minimum qualification for the applied knowledge is O level or its equivalent. We say WAEC, NECO, and its or equivalents. However, I don't have an O level. Maybe I drop out of school, but I'm intelligent. I can read, I can write, or I even want to start ACCA before I finish secondary school. There's also a route for you, which is called the foundation. This foundation does not require any qualification from you. What it only requires is for you to be able to read and write. You'll be writing qualifying exams that will qualify you to move to the skill, applied knowledge level, where you'll be writing 3 papers. I know in the next 2 years, 2027, there are some changes that ACCA we still want to take us through in the course of this meeting, but I'll stick to this. 3 papers at the knowledge level to be written for those without accounting background. So the minimum qualification I have is O level, or I did not study anything that is related to accounting or banking or finance. You start from that level. Then we move to skill level, where you write 6 papers. Once you are done with the 3 papers, you move to the next level, or you are an accounting or banking graduate, or you are not even an accounting or banking graduate, but you have MBA. You'll be starting at that skill level, where you'll be required to write 5 or 6 papers, depending on your qualification. And if you qualify from other schools like Babcock and some other schools that have additional exemptions, you may be writing just 1 paper at that skill level. Then by the time you are done with your skill level, you are supposed to do the ethics and professional module. Ethics and professional module is not like the conventional ACCA written exams. It's a module that is already in your student portal that you pay £75 for. It will just take you about 15 hours to complete. That 15 hours could be extended over a month, over 2 months. It's not something that is time-based that you have to finish within a specific period of time. This will help you demonstrate and apply ethical and professional behaviors in real-world work environment. You have learned, you are qualified as chartered accountant, but this ethics and professional module will help you to understand the ethics and the professionalism required in applying your knowledge in the real world, and also offer full spectrum of professional and digital skill needed to succeed in business. Like I said, it's a 15 hours. It will take you more than 15 hours to complete. And then you will also need this before. I will encourage that you do this before you do your professional papers, because it's going to help you greatly in achieving your, it will help you pass your paper easily if you take that. So I will encourage that you take that. Then once you are done with your ACCA papers, you've written all your papers, you are qualified, you don't become a member immediately, you become an affiliate, and you'll be required to to demonstrate that you have practical experience, right? That you've worked in in accounting for about 36 months. That is 3 years. This practical experience requirement is not necessarily post the exam. It could be pre-exam. I've seen students who became members about a month after they become an affiliate, because they've done many years in the accounting and finance sector before they finish. So you must have gained relevant experience. While you are doing this, you must have gained. So you definitely going to fill a form where you put your experience, things you have done that are relevant to this certification. Then you must have a supervisor. This supervisor must be an IFAC recognized supervisor. It may not necessarily be someone who is an ACCA member. It could be an ICA member. It could be an ICEW member, but somebody who is recognized by IFAC to attest to the fact that the experience you claim you've gained, that you've actually gained gain those experience. Then you need to meet some performance objective. Then once you meet this performance objective, you start recording. The recording is actually what you are feeling in the information. This is what I've done, this is what I've done, and this is what I've done. By the time you do all this, then your supervisor will also attest to it, confirm to ACCA that truly all you claim that you've done, that that you've actually done. So at this point, I will please ensure that your questions are being noted. I will be getting back to you. Could you please mute your mic, please?
You come and wake her up now.
All right. So I want to confirm, Etisong, are you on this call?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I can
Thank
see his hand is up, though.
Okay. All right. So you can go ahead, sir. Let me.
Right. Thanks, Badija. Hi, Etisong. Welcome. Etisong is from our ACCA office. He leads the learning and education team at ACCA. And Etisong, while you have your slides up, I think you may want to share a couple of slides. I just wanted to say a few things. Regarding the becoming a member of ACCA. So let's just see it this way. You have 3 E's to cross. You have the exams, you have the ethics and professional skills module, and you have the experience requirements. So pretty much 3 E's. Manager talked about coming from foundation to skills to knowledge, knowledge to skills, and then to professional level. At the professional level, you have 4 papers you need to write. 2 are mandatory, while out of the remaining 4, you can select 2. One of the things we help with is to give you that opportunity during the first weekend of lectures to attend all the 4 papers if you are still struggling to make a decision on which of the 4 papers you want to, which of the 2 out of the 4 papers do you want to actually register for. And then after that, the experience requirement, and really, as I said, you can gain your experience before, during, or after ACCA. Everything adds up. It does not necessarily have to be an accounting role, but one way or the other, you may need something related to finance and accounting, especially to be able to tick certain performance objectives. But again, it doesn't have to be, finance and accounting role for 36 months. For example, there are some performance objectives related to communication. You don't have to be an accountant to be able to demonstrate that you communicate effectively. There are some objectives related to managing a team. You don't have to be an accountant to demonstrate that you manage a team. There are some objectives related to leadership and governance. You don't have to be an accountant to demonstrate that. But then there are some that are technical performance objectives, which you can gain from tax experience, performance management experience. So if, for example, you help in budget preparation and budgetary controls within your organization, some you can gain from digital skills. Maybe, for example, you're involved in data analytics. Some you can gain from core financial reporting as well, or other business consulting, experience. So it will be your responsibility to look at those performance objectives, identify the ones you want to target, identify where there could be potential gaps, and start planning towards how you would ensure that you can demonstrate that you've achieved those objectives. The last thing I wanted to say is regarding OBE, Oxford Brookes University degree. So you will probably observe on that slide that on August 9th, I think, August 9th, there will be an open day for OBU where more details will be provided. You get the opportunity to meet with Tutu, who leads our OBU offering, and obviously also other project mentors as well, who will guide you through the expectations for that. So please, if you are interested in registering and getting the BSc before it expires, that's the one for Oxford Brookes University. Before it expires by May next year, it's a good one to watch out for that date. Thank you. Over to you, Etisong.
Thanks, Shay, and thanks to the entire Ivy League team. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning to you, wherever you are joining from. My name is Etisong Ekerendu. I'm the Education Relationship Lead for ACCA Nigeria, and we will quickly jump into this today. I'm really excited and delighted to be sharing some of the changes that are coming to the ACCA, and we call it the accountancy redefined. These changes would kick off fully in 2017, by which time I believe a lot of us may have progressed to membership, but whoever is still a student, don't worry. There is a transition tool that will be available to move you to your appropriate level in ACCA, right? So going straight into it, um, we've got a long-standing history in ACCA of excellence and qualification design. And these are redesign, reflects our unwavering commitment to rigor, integrity, and employability. ACCA regularly reviews and refines the syllabus and qualification. This, happens every year. And even as we work towards the entire redesign by 2017, you're still seeing elements of that featuring on a yearly basis as we march um, towards that change. So, what does this do? It ensures we evolve with the changing need of the profession, from sustainability, digital advancements, ethics, to professional skills. All these areas remain at the heart of the ACCA qualification. This isn't new, as I mentioned to you. We've always led the way before. If you remember, or for those who remember how ACCA moved from paper-based exams, moved to computer-based exams, we've always led the way. And so this is another evolution, and it would ensure that our future members, that is you, who are equipped for the workplace, you will get the right skills for the workplace of the future, while our flexible qualification structure prepares you for diverse and expanding career paths across any role and any sector. ACCA, by doing this, we are confident that we are continuing to offer a qualification that remains relevant and at the leading edge into the future. First of all, I would like to explain a little bit about the key global trends and changes that the profession is seeing, and some of the things that have influenced our thinking and our approach. From everything we are seeing globally around the world, and our global membership, in our policy and our insight research work, and in our extensive work with our unrivaled global network, those in employment, government, policymakers, and educators, there's big changes that are coming. And so accountants are now more than ever drivers of sustainable businesses, promoters of social values, and enablers of new technology. Accountants, finance, and ethical skills are being sharpened for a world that is changing, showing new opportunities and challenges, and these innovations are needed. In short, accountancy is being redefined in exciting ways that are expanding and reshaping the role of the profession. And so, to explore this a little bit more, talking around environmental and social sustainability in creating value for all. Financial success remains critically important, but a new approach to business is taking hold that focuses on environmental and social sustainability. There is now a wider, more value focused approach in many businesses and organizations, which will only increase. Now, accountants recognize that there is a wider perspective that is critical to success and pushing it forward, acting as catalyst for change by driving rounded decision making, ethical approaches, and more meaningful
Okay.
ways of corporate reporting. Example, sustainability reporting. As a force for good in a change and complex world, powerful forces are changing the world and have changed the world. From climate crisis that we are seeing to groundbreaking advances in artificial intelligence, economic volatility, there is a lot that is happening recently. And accountants are part of shaping bold strategies and guiding organizations through these disruptions. Accountants really are a force for good. And how are we driving success by pioneering AI and tech? We're now having more forward thinking accountants who are leading the adoption of artificial intelligence and other cutting edge technologies, harnessing them to drive analysis, innovation that improves performance and customer experience, that are continually transforming organizations and creating business models. And then talking about new and expanding roles means more choice than ever. Accounting roles are broadening with a greater focus on areas such as sustainability, data, and technology. These changes are continually driving a need for wider skill sets for an ever increasing wider range of roles. In many ways, the world of work and the role of accountants are changing and being reimagined. Traditional roles more often now are being blurred, they're evolving, they are widening, and new roles are developing. And there is now new more expectation from stakeholders and the next generation. So ACCA is redefining what it means to be an accountant, and we are making sure that the qualification remains the cornerstone of what makes a professional accountant. So, what is our approach, right? And then before I go into the detail of, what the changes are, so our approach in ACCA is that our ACCA qualification is trusted and is respected around the world. And as I mentioned, it's leading edge and known for preparing our future members like you for the workplace. The ACCA qualification is the gold standard. And the changes that are coming, right, are ensuring that the qualification is relevant, ensuring that students, future members continue to develop the skills that are required. Rigor, integrity, ethics, and employability are the core building blocks of this qualification. And they are integral and they remain throughout what you're going to see as the redesign. There is a lot around innovation in employability, technology, sustainability. These are already integral in the ACCA qualification. And going forward, they will be interwoven into every single stage, reflecting the widening role of accountants in these areas. Before we did this redesign, there was an extensive consultation. We consulted with partners across the globe, including Ivy League, key stakeholder groups, ACCA Council, International Assembly, joint exam schemes, regulators, members, employers, universities, Gen Z students, prospects. We did a massive consultation. We listened to their views of approximately 1,000 stakeholders, and we incorporated this feedback, into the design view. We will be fully supporting all current students and those who will start the ACCA journey between now and the introduction of the changes. An important part of this transition is that existing students, you are not going to be disadvantaged in any way, including in cost and time to take in the qualification. Like I mentioned, we've developed a transition plan which will include strong support for you and guide you through a clear pathway. This will include the transition tool, which will outline how a student's current program would map onto the redesigned qualification, providing you with clear guidance. The first exam would kick off in mid 2027, right? And then this is a reminder that this is all about creating the strategic professional and business leaders of tomorrow. And then let's deep into it in the interest of time so that we can see what some of the key um, innovations are around, right? So let's look a lot closer into the redesigned qualification. So in our redesigned qualification, you see it is holistic. Through the redesign, we're developing both technical and professional skills and capabilities. And we're also integrating learning and the exam journey with a clear focus on employability and career path. So in the redesigned qualifications for exams, we ensure that students are equipped with the skills needed in the workplace using real world scenarios. While for our essential employability modules, which are now going to be mandatory at each level of the qualification, experience and employability goes through the entire journey. Now, students will be required to complete, as is currently with the current qualification, 36 months of supervised relevant experience, which you can do alongside your exams. And then now we've introduced an optional employability module, which you can also use to enhance skills and competence in key areas at any stage of the qualification. So now let's come to the awards and designations on the next slide. So this is the more detailed representation of how the redesigned qualification will look. So all students will progress through the levels of the ACCA qualifications, right? Students who meet minimum entry requirements, you will begin at the ACCA qualification at the knowledge level. But for those who do not meet minimum requirement, maybe you still have just WAEC, NECO, right? We've created a very simplified way at the foundation level. Currently, the foundation level has like 3 stages, but at the redesigned with the redesigned qualification, anybody who doesn't meet the minimum standards, minimum requirements, will start at the foundation level, which I said replaces the current foundations in accounting suite of exams with no entry level. So this provides opportunity for anyone to take that first step into an accountancy career, right? And being able to imbibe the full ACCA DNA. Students who finish that first stage, they will be awarded the diploma in accounting and business. So for the knowledge level is equivalent to the current applied knowledge level. Students who meet minimum entry criteria begin their ACCA qualification at this point. At this level, students will complete 3 mandatory exams and 1 essential employability module. On completion, you will be awarded a higher diploma in accounting and business, right? And this is also a route. There's also a route at this level of students who want to achieve the certified accountancy technician qualification, right? So if you're interested in CAT, if you complete the foundation level, you complete the knowledge level, and you meet 1 year practical experience requirement, you can get the designation of certified accountant technician qualification. At the expertise level, which is the equivalent of current applied skills level, by this time you'll be developing strong, broad, and practical finance qualities required for professional accountants in any sector and industry. And at the end of this, you'll be awarded the advanced diploma in accounting and business. There is also an option for you to obtain the BSc, degree alongside with your qualification, just like Mr. Olumide mentioned earlier, with our new partnership with the University of London. And then the strategic professional level, which is recognized globally as being aligned to a master's qualification. Students who complete the professional level, practical experience requirement now move to the ACCA membership fully. There's a wide range of learning opportunities, additional qualifications for members. One of them, obviously, is the opportunity for you to get the MSc with our partnership with the University of London. So, with the new redesign, the strategic professional level will now have 2 mandatory exams, 1 optional papers. So now the new thing that will be introduced is that at the optional level, students now can specialize in a particular area of interest. And we've now introduced a new optional module, which is the data science professional exam, right? So if you want to specialize in the data science, you can pick that um, option. So final thing in terms of timing, the first foundation level, knowledge level exams will be in July 2027. The first expertise and strategic professional level exam will be in September 2027. So this gives us a lot of time to work with organizations like Ivy League, who are our approved learning provider, students, employers, and then we ensure that it's a smooth transition into the qualification. So this is it, looking a little bit deeper into the qualification. You can see it foundation level, 3 papers, knowledge level, 3 papers, expertise level, 5 papers, and then strategic professional level, the 2 compulsory papers, and then you pick one of the optional papers. But what you can see, which is consistent across board, is our new employability modules that you must complete at each stage. And then you can see the awards and designations that are available to you when you complete each level. Of course, we have kept in tandem with our 36 months workplace experience plus performance objectives, which is your PR requirement for you to become a member. What we've also introduced is now there are optional employability modules, and in completing specific optional employability modules, you can get up to 6 months of your PR met through doing some of these optional employability models, right? And then these optional employability models are even available to members who have done with the ACCA qualification. They can come back and pick up some of these models. So if you look through what I'm sharing with you, you can see a strong drive and pull for employability, right? Going through this qualification, there is no way you would not be attractive to employers. There is no way you would not gain the skills that are requiring for you to be a plug and play in a typical work environment. And so, moving on, how does this benefit you for future members? Of course, I just mentioned you are in high demand, you are work ready. For those who haven't joined us, this adds to our attractiveness. For existing students, it's all about protecting and building the value of your progress, for the qualification. For our current members, it's about protecting and strengthening the brand and reputation of what ACCA means to the greater world, right? And then it cuts across how this benefits all our different stakeholders, from future members to the ACCA community, and of course, our partners like Ivy League. And this is really how it benefits you in more detail, right? I've already touched on that in detail. Okay, so as ACCA, as finance and business continues to transform with advances in technology, sustainability, regulation, the accountancy profession is being redefined. The ACCA qualification is always evolving, and it's ensuring that our qualification is the leading edge and is relevant to organizations, and that we are developing the professionals needed to move organizations forward. So I thank you for the attention today, and then if there are questions, I would pause and pick those questions. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edison. That was deep, extensive, and informative. Thanks so much. So at this point, we want to take one or two questions. We promise we want to leave here in another 1 hour. Do we have any questions? Please raise your hand. Raise your hand. So, Mr. Edison, while I'm waiting for students to raise their hands, I have these questions, and I want to go back to the CAT. So I want to know, can a student who had written and completed the knowledge level at this point, right, also get the CAT when we move to this new ACCA arrangement? That's one. Is the CAT paid for, or it's automatic once you are once you've written those exams and you have the number of 1 year experience that you've talked about? And lastly, you talked about the strategic professional level moving into 2 compulsory papers, one from the option of 5. If a student decides to say, I want to do maybe one addition from the option for experience level so that I can diversify in the future, is that allowed? That is my question. Please, can we quickly do that because of time, so that then we take Babatunde and Emmanuel?
Those are quite heavy questions. So I'll start from your last question. So at the strategic professional level, while you have been asked to pick one optional papers, it still falls on you. If you want to do an additional optional paper, it is your decision, right? Because what the optional papers now embody is you specializing in a particular area. So if you're someone who says, okay, I want to be a data science professional, I also want to be a corporate finance professional, really that choice is up to you. You can pick and choose as you like. And then for the CAT question you asked, currently to get the CAT designation, you would need to complete the foundation level suite of papers, and then those individual courses, and then you will need to also do the foundations in professionalism module, right? That's the current situation. So it is not an automatic award to get the CAT. If, for example, you want to wait it out till then, it's not an automatic award, because at this time there's a rule to getting the CAT, and then when the redesign happens, the requirement is that you must complete the foundation level papers, which are currently the 3 papers you can see here, do the employability model, and then complete the knowledge level papers, do the employability model, and then have 1 year of supervised work experience, right? So with that, you can now apply to get the designation of CAT. So it's not automatic. I hope that clarifies.
That clarifies it. It's the payment aspect that has not been answered. So, Emmanuel, please. We may want to take the question in buckets so that we can save time.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Babatunde, please unmute and ask your question. Okay, Babatunde is not there. Can Oji Emmanuel please unmute and ask your question? We want to take about 2 questions. Then we move to the panel session. After the panel session, we have ample time to take questions. Emmanuel, go ahead.
Okay, good morning all. Oji Emmanuel from Lagos. My first question is, okay, I think that has been a bit clarified. Why the person that talked about OBU was talking about writing PM and FM exams through London University. I know that was not the approach before, but the recent discussion on the changes has clarified that. But my second question is, I know people who has OBU in Nigeria, at least, have a challenge of getting the NYSC certificate or exemptions, whatever. I want to ask, what are the approved learning centers like Ivy League and others who encourages students, even those who have not gone through the walls of university in Nigeria, what are the helps or the intervention they are bringing to encourage people such that even if you go through this and get your BSc OBU certificate, BSc certificate, what can they do to help this student to also have an NYC certificate or even the exemptions to that? Because even when you look for job in Nigeria, it's part of the relevant certificates that they will ask you to attach to your credentials. Then another thing is, I have also seen a friend who ran into trouble as a result of, I know some of them who has, as a result of overzealous, who got the NYC through other means, wherever. But I have seen someone who also ran into trouble as a result of that. So I think it's something, if there are things that you guys have in place, you might explain. Or if there is nothing, what can you do to help us in that regard? Thank you.
Okay, so I would answer, and I'll make it as plain as possible, right? So that challenge was with the OBU, and then it's important that you understand that we are talking about 2 BScs now, right? OBU from the Oxford Brookes University has wound down. That relationship has come to an end, right? And so by April, May next year, there's no Oxford Brookes BSc relationship with ACCA. So that relationship has wound down, and that was a challenge that we were facing in terms of NYSC because there were protectionisms, coming from the local body. I don't need to go into details around that. However, with the new BSc with the University of London, right, the story is different, and we are already talking to the regulators, right, so that it can be approved, so that people who get the BSc are able to either serve or they're able to get an exemption. And that's why that's why we have Ivy League, for example. Ivy League is in the process of becoming such a partner, right? Because part of you doing the BSc is that there are certain hours that you need to clock in, being in a campus, right? Being in a center, right? So those are some of the requirements that we need to fulfill, and that is ongoing. But we are already starting that now, so that by the time it kicks off in full, that will be sorted out. So that really is my response around it. Trust me, by the time it kicks off, the BSc program kicks off fully, that issue around NYSC would have been sorted out. If we don't have it resolved, we'll state it clearly, right? We'll state it clearly so that people would know the options that they have available. So that's really my feedback around that.
Thank you, Mr. Ektisong. At this point, I will only want to take just one more question. I've penned down everybody's name. You'll be the first to take your question after the panel session. Just one person. Babatunde, please, can you unmute and speak?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Please keep the question short, please. Keep it short. Thank you, sir.
I just want to ask, what are the requirements for someone coming with ICANN ECA certificate? The requirements for the ECCA exams. I think since you have new what's it called, curriculum per se, please, I need to know that.
Okay, let me answer you quickly, Mr. Babatunde. So this redesign is kicking off 2027, right? So the current ACCA qualification pathway remains. So if you're coming from ICANN now, you have not registered for ACCA. On provision of your ICANN transcript, that is having ICANN send us a copy of your transcript, you can start at the final stage of ACCA, which is the professional level, right? So with other submission of other documents, right, and then your transcript from ICANN, you can get up to 9 exemptions, which is the maximum exemption anybody can get. That means you can start at the professional level of ACCA, and you just have 4 papers to go. You can contact Ivy League here, and then they will support you with how to register and the requirements that you need to provide.
Thank you, Mr. Edson. I want to confirm, I don't need to confirm that Mr. Shea is on the call. I want to confirm that Tommy, you're on the call.
Manager,
Victoria, you're on the call. Go ahead, sir.
sorry, could you quickly talk through incentives that are available to ICANN students from a financial perspective, or maybe Etisong? I think that's very important because when students get exemption, they wonder how much am I going to pay, subscription, those things can add up. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Shay. So being mindful that there are prospects, potential ACCA students on this call, we are specifically ruled out an offer, a special welcome offer for you. And then I'm sure team members of Ivy League are within the chat to take your details. So knowing that the exemption is the highest burden, in quotes, from where you're coming from ICANN, if you come in through the standard fees, you're going to be paying something around 980,000 naira for your exemptions alone. But the special offer that has been provided means that for the 9 exemptions that you can be awarded, you're paying only about 180,000. Which is a massive saving. So we're offering you a discount on registration, exemptions, and then there's a waiver on your first year of annual subscription. So in essence, you can come in, register, pay your exemption for something around 220,000. So what now you need to focus on is your approach to writing the 4 exams. And I always tell people, don't look at it as something that is scary. Look at it as something that we're planning you can achieve. So there are 4 exam diets every year. If you say, okay, I would plan to write 1 exam per diet, or every 6 months I'll write 2 exams, you can do it. And you can begin every month to put aside credit ACCA directly with some form of payment. So for example, now SBR costs 350 going on the exchange rate of 2000, right? And I dare say this boldly that there is no way in Nigeria you can get the rate of 2000 to a pound that ACCA is currently offering. If you're planning to write September exam, of course, we know that the deadline is July 28th. So anybody who is on this call who is planning to write September exam should be paying and booking their exam now to avoid any last minute issues. But even for those who are planning to write exam in December, if you start between now to start paying between now and say October, when is the deadline of September, right? You would have gotten that amount of money. So yes, the money might be expensive, right? But if you begin to pay in gradually every month, have a target. My salary is paid 50,000, 60,000. Pay into the ACCA Synchron account. I can guarantee you that in a year or two, especially people coming from ICANN, you would have achieved this. So this is what we have provided for you to make your life easier. I would drop my number because I may not be here throughout. So you can just WhatsApp me if you need more insight around ACCA. My number is 0701 886 9648. My name is Eti Song. 0701 886 9648. If you're outside the country, you can just add +234. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edson. I would like to call on, I want to confirm, please, can you please mute your mic if you are not? Yeah, thank you.
Can you repeat?
I want to confirm, Victoria, are you on the call? Tommy, are you on the call? Joanne,
Yes.
are you on the call?
I'm on the call.
Mr. Olumide, are you on the call?
Yes, please.
Okay, I want to. So I would like to invite Mr. Sheyi.
Tommy, over to you, please.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome once again to Ivy League ACCA Open Day. My name is Tomi Ibadin, and I'll be your moderator for the panel we're going to be having today. I'm delighted to guide us through what promises to be practical, insightful, and a very, very inspiring conversation. Thank you once again for joining us. If you're here, it means you're not just interested in passing exams, but you're also like thinking bigger, thinking about careers and, more global opportunities. Who wouldn't be thinking that? So today we're going to be having real conversations, tried and tested strategies from people who have walked the ACCA path and have excelled exceptionally in it. Okay, so we're just going to quickly introduce them and we ask the questions and we can take questions after from the audience. So first of all, we have Olumide, a partner at EY Nigeria. Mr. Olumide has over 15 years of experience working with high-profile clients in the banking and capital market sectors, not just here in Nigeria, but also in EY's London and Johannesburg offices. He also serves on the board of Acca Nigeria and ICANN's Professional Practice Committee. Beyond Mr. Olumide's impressive corporate profile, he is very passionate about giving back. He volunteers with Faith Foundation, where he helps entrepreneurs take their businesses to the next level. And when he's not doing that, you'll probably find him enjoying a good game of football or relaxing with music. Mr. Olumide, welcome. Next, we're going to meet Joanne. Joanne graduated with a first class in accounting from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. She completed her ACCA exams in December 2024, studying with Ivy League Associates. And not only did she pass, but she emerged as Nigeria's best affiliate for the year. This is no small feat. She now works as an audit professional with KPMG, bringing all of that diligence and brilliance to one of the world's top firms. Joanne, we're very glad to have you with us. Welcome. Also, we have Uju. She's also another Ivy League success story. Uju graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University and completed her ACCA exams in September 2024 as well. She finished as the third best affiliate in Nigeria. She also now works as an assistant manager at the audit practice at PwC, navigating high-stake projects with expertise and grace. Uju, it's a privilege to have you with us today. And finally, we have Shay. Shay's story is truly, truly inspiring. He started teaching ACCA back in 2007, founded Ivy League Associates in 2012, and he then went on to serve on the ACCA Global Governing Council from 2021 to 2024. He has worked with EY Nigeria for over a decade, leading their accounting advisory team for banking and capital market clients before moving to Deloitte UK to consult for investment management and private equity firms. Today, he is a director at BDO UK LLP, helping shape global strategies in finance. Beyond all of these titles, she is passionate about mentoring and dedicated to seeing people succeed beyond the classroom. Shay, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Toby.
Okay, so now that we know the caliber of people we're about to hear from, let's just dive right into it, okay? So this is going to be a real conversation. It's going to be honest and it's going to be practical. Okay, so I'll start with Olumide and then I'll invite questions from Joan and Uju and then also from Shea as well. So, Olumide, nice to have you. Welcome once again. Um, you've built an impressive career in what many would consider a short time. Looking back to your early days, what key decisions would you say gave you that edge?
Thank you, Tommy, and good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to be here. So, now to your question.
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, pursuing the ACCA qualification after completing my ICANN was a pivotal choice. And I was motivated by a desire to be globally relevant and to prepare myself for multinational opportunities. Back in those days, you just feel like ACCA would give you that edge if you wanted to seek multinational opportunities. So while working at EY, I found that the knowledge I gained from my ACCA studies not only enhanced my technical skills, but also provided me with practical insights that were invaluable during interviews and in my early days at the firm. I truly believe that without this qualification, my entry into UI would have been much more challenging. So mentorship also played a crucial role in my development as well. Early in my career, I had the privilege of working closely with a colleague who, unknown to him, became a mentor to me, right? His guidance during my initial months at the firm was transformative. I struggled to find my footing within the first 3 months, but through our collaboration, I gained clarity and confidence. It's our relationship helped me navigate the complexities of my role that also blossomed into what we now deem a lasting friendship that continues to influence my career. And in terms of skills development, I then focused on owning my presentation skills, business acumen, and the ability to think critically and respond to matters on the spot. So I envision the professional I aspire to be and actively work towards becoming that version of myself. And this forward-thinking approach allowed me to cultivate the skills that was necessary for success in a high-pressure environment. So I think I will just pause there.
That's absolutely brilliant, Mr. Olumide. We all need mentorship. I can also attest to that as well. Just to follow up on that question, looking back now, if you could have done anything differently, what would it be?
So for me, I think I appreciate my journey so far, and I believe that they were necessary for the person that I've become. And I wouldn't take anything back. I think I'm rich in knowledge and experience. So based on the pathway, I wouldn't do anything differently because if I think about it, if I do something different, it means I wouldn't be the version of myself that I am, and
Yeah.
I appreciate the version of myself.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, the second question, how would you say your ACCA qualification helped to stay relevant, branch into new areas, or take on leadership roles in all of these places you've worked at?
So I'll touch on a few points.
Okay.
I joined the Y while completing my ACCA qualification, So, and I could remember that during my interview, most of the questions they asked me at EY where I was able to provide the level of answers I did due to the ACCA qualification process I went through. And if I had not gone through that process, I feel I would struggle and I might not even have gained entry into EY. So today, I just feel like ACCA has been a pivotal role at the entry, even at the entry point. And the global recognition of ACCA qualification has also created opportunities for me to be up to date with changes. And because I lecture, it's always affords me to be up to date with standards, with changes and the likes. So it's always easy to leverage on the knowledge on the day-to-day activities in the job. So, and this exposure has not only broadened my perspective, but it has also enhanced my relevance in an increasingly interconnected world. So because I'm obliged to keep myself, I'm also updated with changes in those auditing standards, applicability to real life and day-to-day scenarios, and so I'm able to engage at any level. So also the comprehensive skill set acquired through the ACCA curriculum has equipped me with a deep understanding of various financial disciplines because I'm always excited to have conversations around financial management, IT areas, and a couple of areas. And I feel like I might not have gained so much if I hadn't gone through that route. Most importantly, networking opportunities within the CCA community have played a significant role in my career growth. And at least building relationships with fellow professionals has led to collaborations that has enriched my experience and opened new avenues for advancement. And the skills I've developed through this qualification, such as critical thinking, ethical decision making, effective communication, I think they've been essential for my leadership journey. And these competencies have empowered me to lead teams confidently and make informed decisions that drive success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. One more question. So you audit some of the largest banks in Nigeria, yeah? If you were recruiting someone to join your team or, even the broader consulting team, what would you be looking for in that candidate?
Okay, I'll be looking for a number of things. First, I'm sure everyone will expect this first, is a strong technical competence. Solid foundation in accounting and finance principles is very essential, along with the relevant qualifications. That's the first. Want to see how much understanding how much thorough your understanding is of auditing standards, accounting standards, and regulations. And most importantly, if it's in my own team within the banking sector, relevant to the banking sector. I'm also interested in analytical skills because they are crucial. I'm looking for candidates who can assess complex financial data, who can identify and review trends, who can draw meaningful conclusions from the review, and that can inform decision making. People who pay attention to details is paramount in auditing. And so I would look for individuals who demonstrate meticulousness in their work to ensure accuracy, compliance in financial reporting. And again, given the fast-paced nature of the banking industry, adaptability and the learning agility are vital. So it means that looking for candidates who are eager to stay updated with trends, regulations, emerging technologies, allowing them to easily navigate to evolving landscape effectively. Again, for the work we do, it's important that we have effective communication skills. So
Absolutely.
candidates are able to pop, probably properly articulate the findings clearly and concisely, both in written reports and verbal presentations to various stakeholders. Additionally, I would say teamwork and collaboration is important as we work as teams within the firm. Then we're looking for people who are ethically upright and who have integrity. So for us, those are non-negotiable. So our candidates must exhibit a high level of them and understand the importance of confidentiality and compliance with regulatory authority. And two more points for me, cultural fit. Again, you might be smart, and you might not be fit for a specific organization. You have a specific culture within the firm, and you must be cultural fit. Your values must align with our values as an organization. And we're looking for individuality. Because we promote inclusiveness and diversity, your you and your individualism makes you unique, and that's what we want you to bring to the table. So we're looking for that. And we're also looking for someone that is genuinely passionate about learning. Thank you.
That's absolutely brilliant, Mr. Olumide. That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll come back for some additional questions, but I'll just go on to Uju and Joanne now, so that's because of the time. Okay. Um, Uju and Joanne, welcome once again. You both,
Thank you.
thank you. You both are like shining examples of what is possible with dedication and strategy, and it is truly, truly inspiring. So I was, this question is for Uju. I think someone's mic is on. A lot of students think only super geniuses can excel at ACCA. Can you take us back to your early days? What kind of mindsets, daily habits, or even sacrifices helped you achieve the amazing results that you did?
All right. Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you.
Yeah. So to your question, I once had that mindset, right? In your introduction, you failed to include that I'm actually an entrepreneur as well, right? I run
Wow.
a business, yeah, and I have kids too. So there's no excuse. Yeah. So this is just to those who are married or who have kids and think they have so many responsibilities and cannot, make it. There is no excuse actually. Yeah. So I used to have that mindset till I started attending Ivy League, reaching out to the tutors, having this personal conversation, with them, and they will be like, oh, you can do it if you put your mind to it. So there was one thing I never failed. You would never see me missing classes. I am very busy, but then I just had to prioritize. So it's all about putting your mind to it. Do not give yourself reasons why you cannot do this. And this is not me trying to be a motivational speaker. This is something I applied. These are advices I gave to myself, right? That made me pull through. There is no dull person. There is nothing like, oh, I'm too busy, or oh, I can't make it, or oh, ACC is for the high flyers. If you put your mind to it, you would definitely get it. That's just the truth. Don't give yourself excuses. That mindset, with that mindset, you can't do anything. If you give yourself excuses, if you think you're not bright enough to achieve it, then trust me, you won't move an inch. But shed that away, put your mind to it, and trust me, you would see yourself doing well. And also, my advice is have personal relationship with tutors, even if it is just one, because by the time you know that someone is looking up to you to do well, that one alone will
Inspire
motivate you
and
to
push
actually
you.
do well. So I think you
Absolutely.
should attach yourself to a tutor, someone
Yeah.
who you know that is looking up to you to actually succeed, to actually pass the exam. And trust me, you will just see yourself making sacrifices and doing well. So ACC is not just for high flyers. There's nothing as a high flyer. We are all same. The difference is the sacrifice and the effort we put into succeeding. That's
Yeah.
just it.
You're such a superwoman, and I'm actually clapping for you. That was amazing. Joanne, do you have anything to add to this? Because I mean, coming first in the December exam as well, what would you like? What would you say were the habits of sacrifice, that helps you achieve those results as well?
Okay, thank you, Tumi. So for me, I think it was just discipline. So I think everybody needs to know what works for them and what to apply to, get the best results. For me, I realized that staying at home wasn't really doing much for me when I want to read. So I actually, took it upon myself to not even just close to the exams, but especially close to the exams, when I wanted to achieve some significant readings, or when I'm trying to prepare for the exams, I actually took it upon myself to actually step out of my comfort zone. I actually registered at a library or any study center close to my house, really. So I registered at that library, and I just saw myself making, covering up significant portions of the syllabus and achieving what I wanted to achieve for that particular reading session. Also, I just also think that for me it was about also um reading to understand, what I was, the particular topics, especially for things that I can apply in my workplace, things like FR, SBR topics, even the SBL self and the FM and AFM. So I read to understand those topics, how to apply them in real life, ask questions, with the tutors, like what Uju had said, make friends with tutors, actually very key. So yeah, so I actually did all of that. And another thing that helped me actually become, particularly apart from all of this helped me pass the exams in general, but particularly what helped me become a top affiliate was diligently solving past questions. Like some early exams that I took when I started, I really didn't pay attention to past questions. I just breezed through the questions, and I don't sit down to study a section three type of question with section three basically. So I didn't sit down to diligently study them. Though I passed, but of course the scores was not as high as compared to when I actually sat down to diligently solve past questions, especially for the professional level, right? So I think that's one of the key things that actually helped. Those are the key things that actually helped me, succeed and pass through the ACCA exams. That's what I have to say. To me, thanks.
That's beautiful. That's absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna push this question to Uju real quickly. So ambition can be exciting, even though it's also very stressful, coupled with being a parent, coupled with, having a business as well. Were there moments, throughout your ACCA journey that you felt unsure or overwhelmed? How did you pull through? Did you think of giving up at a certain point in time? We just want to know your yeah. Your mic is muted.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, thanks to me. There were moments where I felt like giving up. Trust me. Moments like busy season. If you know what busy season looks like in the big four, you would understand perfectly what I'm talking about. Especially during busy seasons, I felt like, oh, giving up on the ACCA journey. Like I felt like, you know procrastinating, like pushing the exam forward to say, okay, I won't write in March or June or whatever. Let me just push it till after busy season and all of that. But one thing just kept me going: the fact that I have started this, I need to finish it.
Yeah.
I always, put that at the back of my mind. So regardless, because there will never be a time when you will be very free. As an entrepreneur, my less busy seasons are for my business, where I, put more time into my business and all of that. But I never still gave up. And the truth of the matter is, you'd need to learn how to prioritize, no matter what, no matter how you feel, even when you are down. And also have time for yourself, have time to rest. Have time to rest, have time to read, have time for your job, have time for your business, have time for your family as well. So one thing that helped me is my ability to prioritize. Like I have, okay, it's even here. I have a notepad. I like to go manual sometimes where I jot things, and at the beginning of my day, I have my to-do list and I tick the bucket at the end of the day. It really helps. So even when I feel overwhelmed, I'm looking at the list and I'm saying, oh, I'm not done with what I have set at the beginning of the day to achieve, right? And those ones that may be practically impossible to achieve, you move it to the next day. That forms the beginning of your day. So there were times when I felt like giving up. I lost my dad January last year. Went for the burial in March. So that year I actually didn't want to even write any exam. But I just told myself I have to do it. And I think that was the year I finished, and I was one of the top 3 affiliates. So there is no better time to do anything, really. Do not allow the distractions overwhelm you or make you see reasons why you should quit. No, do not. And I just wanted to add to what Joanne said in her previous answer, her previous response rather. The past questions really help. So if you go to the ACCA platform, those questions, right, all the past questions, try to go through everything. I don't think there was any question I did not attend to. I try every questions I come across. So whenever you feel overwhelmed, just give yourself a task. Okay, you want to go to the portal, you want to attend to this during this period. Be specific about your goals. During this period, I want to achieve this. Even if you're overwhelmed, even if you are tired, because you have not achieved those goals you have set for yourself at this particular period, it would encourage you not to just give up. But if you don't have goals, if you don't have specific goals, you'll just be everywhere. And so when the distractions come, it will be very easy for you to get overwhelmed and just give up. So that's how I managed to pull through, being very specific with my goals.
For that. Thank you. Thank you so much. So because of time, I'm just trying to like rush through it. Joanne, now that you work for a global firm, do you find yourself applying the things that you learned during your ACCA journey? And what would give an honest assessment of the qualifications relevance for those who are doubting if to go for it or not? And feel free to share real life examples as well.
All right. So honestly, I feel like the ACCA qualification has helped me apply and understand particular standards in financial reporting. So particularly in preparation of group financial statement, that's one of the areas that I know that I have applied, and it has really helped me in my current, work. So I've been tasked with reviewing a company's financial statements, most of which have been group financial statements, and I've been able to understand, or for my ACCA learnings, I've been able to understand the requirements of what you need to do when you're preparing group financial statements, the consolidation entries are required, the elimination entries. So I've been able to apply all of this. Also, another key area that I was able to apply in my work was also the IAS 19, which is employee benefit. That area was very, very technical. It looked very, very technical to me before. And the way it was explained when I did advanced SBR, it made it look so simple, and I was able to apply it. Luckily for me, then that was actually an area I was working on in my current client. So I was able to just directly apply it where I had issues. I even also used classes as an area to understand the issues I was facing in my current work at the time. So these things, I feel like everything is intertwined, especially if you're working at the same time, or even if you're working, you're not working at the same time you're taking the exams. After the exams, currently I still apply things I've learned from things like AA, because I'm in the audit field. So I apply things that I've learned in the AAA classes, the SPR classes. Those were very key for me. Even the AFM, because I've been seeing reviewing valuations done by specialists, and I'll be able to understand and apply those learnings to my work. So the ACCA qualification, I feel, is very, 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 very relevant to me. And also, I mean, for me, I don't honestly I plan to move out of the audit space eventually in the future. So the qualification is actually something that I know that is going to help me, get into places that I want to be, the finance world, even whether in or outside the country. And I know it's very much recognized globally. So the ACCA qualification is very, 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 but it has helped, or the ACA journey, I won't say the qualification, the ACA journey, because for me, it's a journey, it's not just the end goal that I'm seeing. The ACA journey has actually helped me to apply and solve areas in my current work. And also, I believe it's something that's going to be relevant to help me get to where I want to be in the future. So, yeah, that is the real life examples of which I've applied my learnings from the ACC and the relevance for me in my career path. So,
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sure we're all learning so much. Would you let's just, talk about your time at Ivy League Associates one more time. So you studied at Ivy League throughout. Looking back, what part of the experience, the structure, or maybe the tutors do you think, really gave you that support, that edge for the CC exams and your career as well?
Oh, all right. Yeah, thanks. So I started Ivy League in I think 2021. Yeah, physical class. Then Binio used to be our performance management tutor, and there were a whole lot of mixed feelings about Binio. Then I decided, okay, let me come closer to Binio. Let me see what is this whole thing about and all. Then I realized that he has this passion, towards making people succeed, and as such, when he sees that you are not trying to put in that commitment towards succeeding, he takes it very personal. I realized that was just it. And then I saw how the tutors were, going out of their way to schedule makeup classes, like classes during the week. And these people work. So they are not the ones that need the certificate, right? We are the ones that need the certificate. But they go out of their way even during the week, sometimes 7 p.m. class, sometimes 8 p.m. class. And I just tell myself, you know what? I need this. So whatever it is that is going to make me not attend this class, I'm just going to put them to a halt and focus on this class, because I mean, they are doing this for me. So what's my excuse? They work too, I work, but I need the certificate, not them. Whether or not they fix these extra classes, they'll get paid. And that was the motivating factor for me. I'm like, you know what? I just have to do this. Then the fact that they were not just tutors, they were actually motivational speakers too. They try to, before they start any class, they try to lift up your spirit, try to make Binia will tell you things like, I've written PM for I think 5 to 6 times, but I'm here today lecturing you. If I can do it, you can do it, and all of that. Then for APM, I've forgotten his name. This tutor for APM, remind me, I can't really remember his name again. But just not to mention names, anyways, the tutors generally in Ivy League were very welcoming, like very, very welcoming. And they made it in classes. They want to ask you questions, they want to call out your names. At a point, people in my set already knew who Uju was, and I'm like, oh, this one that everybody now knows, Uju and everything. I cannot fail. So if you don't feel embarrassed when they call out your name to ask you questions. They're only just trying to put you in check, to make you know that, okay, to make you feel among, to make you know that you need to do this, you need to pass. If you see it as they're trying to intimidate you, trust me, if you hide and you feel, after all, nobody knows me, so I can fail. And then it will be a repeated cycle of failure. But bring yourself out. Have that relationship with tutors. Do you understand? It's now an online class, yes, but they will still keep telling you, oh, unmute yourself, ask you questions and all of that. Have that relationship with them. Trust me, you will tell yourself that you cannot afford to fail, because these people are looking up to you to actually succeed. That's a driving force. And that's one thing I like about Ivy League, the fact that they like making their students participate, not just logging in and then getting distracted by any other thing. They want to be sure that you're actually, listening, actively listening and responding to their tutor. And it's very nice. That's one thing I like about.
That's brilliant, brilliant. So I think I'll just round off here for now because of the time. Thank you both so much for being so open and sharing real stories and struggles and everything. These are really, really invaluable. So I'll just go to Shay now. Thank you, Uju. Thank you, Joanne.
You're welcome.
Shay, you've had a super interesting and diverse career. And for someone just starting out or for someone thinking of making a change, what three bold steps would you advise them to consider? Sergio, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. Let me first start by thanking Olumide and Uju and Joanne. I forgot I was a member of the panel as well because I was really intrigued by some of the things I heard from them. You want to make choices that you will be excited about. So I think the first thing is, what do I want to do? What do I want to be known for? What will excite me? What am I really excited about? I think of this as that self-assessment, self-appraisal, know your capabilities, know the opportunities out there. And to be quite honest, if you're just starting out, you may need to try different things. I think we live in a world now where there are just so many options out there. From a career perspective, business perspective. Uju was just saying she's also an entrepreneur, combining that with her full-time work. So you may need to try different things. And I think it's very critical for us to define what excites us and see what path that can take us through. I think the second thing will be, if you're able to cross that first hurdle, how do I get the skills, or what skills, what capabilities are required to support this journey? So for example, if I want to be a chartered accountant, or if I want to be a finance professional, you recognize that, okay, the ACCA designation is relevant. If it's something in technology, if it's something in, tax, if it's something in other areas of endeavors, I think it's then necessary to sit back and say, what are some of those things that I need to do? Whether it's in terms of experience, sometimes that experience may not be the most financially rewarding at the start. Maybe in terms of qualification, and it may just be in terms of other areas as well that will support that. And I think the third thing is just action. I think you really emphasized that because if you do all of this assessment, you say, for example, you're excited about project management, you get the PMP qualification, you're excited to be an accountant, you get the ACCA qualification. What do you do with it? So I think that's where you now need to follow up with actions. So whether it's building the right connections, Olumide talked about connections. In my career, network has been very, very important. The friends I've met while studying ACCA, while working at different places, sometimes they call you up to say, oh, this opportunity exists, would you be interested? And those things are very important. Keeping up to date, extremely important. You will want to be able to have conversations, meaningful conversations. And people will want to know that you know what you're talking about and you're aware of what's happening around you, especially in the particular area of endeavor, that you have actually selected. So I think those are some of the things that I will do. Think of what excites you, think of the skills that needs to support that, and then get to work. Yeah.
Okay. I think those are really unique points and they're practical as well. So let's just narrow it down to Ivy League associates now.
Yeah.
I mean, we heard from Uju and Joanne, and they mentioned how Ivy League was really supportive to their career and their membership. What would prospective, or why should prospective students trust Ivy League associates? What would you say really sets it apart?
Yeah, I think when we started Ivy League, I didn't know it was going to become what it has done, what it's going to do, what it has done over time. I think it was just a couple of people coming together to say we're passionate about, teaching, imparting knowledge and helping people get through this journey. And over time that has evolved. And I dare say that, practically all students who receive tuition in Nigeria, for example, do join us for their lectures. I would obviously have very good things to say about Ivy League. I think the best is what we have heard from Joanne and Uju. They were top affiliates. If they were not the top affiliates, we would have selected whoever the top affiliates were. Most of the top affiliates that come from Nigeria do attend lectures at Ivy League. I think the first and most important thing is the attention and detail that we pay to tutor recruitment. And that's clearly evident in what Uju has said. Passionate tutors, why are you doing this? You are excited about helping people get through the journey and being able to communicate and explain things in, simple, clearly understandable manner. I think the other thing is our structured approach. So we evolve in how we, structure our lectures. For example, we didn't have things like pre-recorded videos 2 years ago, but now all our classes are pre-recorded. So students have that flexibility to watch, these videos anytime they so choose. We have a lecture plan that we follow. So that structured approach helps to ensure that you yourself can design a disciplined approach to getting through your exams. And I think the other thing is the process works, right? The process works right from the admin support you get from the admin team in terms of getting you registered, logging in for your lectures. We don't have situations where we just cancel classes, a lot of time because the tutor is not around. So that talks to the point around commitment. And obviously, ultimately, pass rates. So students being able to look back and say, thank God I attended Ivy League. Ivy League supported me with this because I excelled, I passed my exams. So I think these are some of the things you will look out for when you want to select a tuition center and why we actually stand out.
Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. So, my final question for today, because time is going out. So, many of our prospective students come from non-accounting backgrounds.
Yeah.
From your experience, can these diverse backgrounds actually offer any unique advantages in the global finance space?
Yeah, I think it's not just even our field, our area. Olumide was talking about the things they look out for when he's recruiting. I think I pay attention to all those things, but even more importantly is your ability to think differently. I don't want to have a team where everybody thinks in the same direction, right? I think even when I was doing ACCA and with my engagement with ACCA subsequently, some of the brightest people, accountants that I know, were not those who studied accounting as their first degree or postgraduate qualification or whatever. There are people who come from, very interesting field and you're like, what are you doing in accounting? They have this way of really getting through it. And sometimes they just make it look so easy and you're like, oh, I studied accounting and I'm struggling with this area. And they just come in and say, no, use this approach, use that approach. So, that ability to see things differently, ability to think differently, ability to challenge the status quo, ability to come up with ideas and be creative. I think employers do appreciate that. And I think it's something that will give you, broader opportunities in the marketplace as you try to grow your career. So definitely, I mean, it may be tough initially, especially when you have to deal with things like financial accounting, double entries, at that level. But once you get used to it, to be honest, it's not really a big deal. Getting through it will probably just be like any other challenge in life. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Um, so I would say we've come to the end of the panel. Thank you so much to our amazing panelists. Thank you for sharing, such honest and practical advice. And I'm trusting that we've all learned so much. And we're going to apply all of this knowledge that has been shared. So we're going to take some time to take some questions before the host comes in again. So some people have raised their hand. Mr. Elijah Kalu, can you just unmute yourself and, ask a question if that's all right?
Okay, thank you so much. Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Yeah, so my question is this. It's based on the BSc in professional accounting. So that's where my question is going. I don't know if I can go ahead.
I think we
Yes.
can take questions related to the panel, just so that we take that out of the way. Then all the other questions related to what we've presented before, then we will take them when we are done after the next session. So maybe if anybody has any question for panel members, for Uju, for Joanne, for Olumide, or for myself. Yeah.
Okay, let me wait till then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I have a question, but I don't know if it's not really related to the exam process itself, but I'm just a little bit confused. So I'm not based in Nigeria, and I don't really have so many accountants around me. I didn't do accounting as my first degree or anything like that. But I've heard speculations, or maybe I don't know what to call it. They said in Nigeria, there's a discrimination between those who have ACCA and ICANN, especially if you want to work in government um, organizations, for instance. I'm not in Nigeria and I hope to also practice in Nigeria after I get my certification. What would you advise? Would you advise? It's first of all, is this true? And second of all, what would you advise? Would you ask me? Would you prefer? Or so would you advise me to start with IPAN and then switch to ACCA? Or what do you think based on your experience in the accounting field? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Shay, do you mind answering this question?
Yeah. I can take that, and I can also ask Olumide to add one or two things if he is able to. I'm not aware of such discrimination. I think one of the things we may need to realize is if you intend to practice and have a practicing license, based on regulation for now, I think only ICANN and maybe Anan, I'm not sure, has the regulatory power to issue practicing license for those who want to be, practicing auditors, for example, or some sort of assurance providers in the area of financial reporting, for example. So I remember ICANN has a program to allow people with foreign qualifications to convert and get their ICANN membership. So if you do the ACCA qualification, for example, then what you would just need to do is the conversion if you want to get the ICANN practicing license, or the thing you said about public sector. I'm not sure if you meant public sector or public practice, but if it's public sector, I'm not aware of any such discrimination. We have so many, in fact, take the Accountant General of Lagos State and many other, states in Nigeria, and even at the AGF level, are ACCA members. So there's so many. You would recall as well that the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal, I can't exactly remember the name of the committee now. Taiwo Edele is also a member of ACCA. In fact, he was a previous council member on ACCA as well. So, I'm not aware of such discrimination, but definitely there are processes in place to convert from ACCA to ICANN. And I don't even think you need to write any exam in that regard, because I remember it was something I was going to do a while back, but then, I changed my plans. Olumide, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, Oshikoya.
Okay. So yes, I just wanted to. I think you're spot on. Just like my Olumide mentioned, just to add that if you're talking about practicing, you would then need to start registering your training, because I know there was a regulation at a point in time issued by ICANN that every member or non-member who intends to get a license in the future needs to have his or training registered. So it means that if your training is not registered, your training starts counting. So it means you've had past training, it won't count until it's, just imagine someone who spent 15 years in public practice or doing a couple of stuffs, and he wants to set up his own firm. It means all the trainings you've had would no longer count. He then starts acquiring your 36 months experience just from day one, which is like now. So it means you just need to note that as you plan to do that in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the clarification. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Olumide and Shay. Martha, do you want to ask a question quickly? We're running out of time. Something you want to ask the panelists?
Yes, good morning. So my question is mostly for Uju and Joanne. So they mentioned something around practicing past questions on the platform. So I wanted to ask, like, when you practice the past, because I'm new to the platform, I'm just about to write my first ACCA exam. So when you practice past questions on the platform, how do you know? Is there like a way they can mark it, or like a substitute answer that is like approved by ACCA for you to know that, okay, I'm actually on the right track with what I answered? So I just want to know, like, is there like a way for them to mark what you did for the past question? That's just my question. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so there are no answers, right, in the platform, but you could always, I had like a study group. You could always, reach out to your peers, and then your tutor, they're always available. You could send them your answers for them to go through. Then again, online, right, for every question, there's always a name. Maybe Uju and Co, BC and Co. So you could always Google it. If you just could Google BC and Co ACCA past question, you would see the solutions online. Then again, I had physical copies, right, of ACCA past questions. I had the exam kit itself, the study kit, and then the exam kit. At the back, you would see answers as well. So I tried to go through the portal first to see those questions that they have on their portal. By the time you check, you see some of them in the past questions too. You see some online. Then for those ones that you do not have access to, you can share your answers with your tutors, and I'm 100% sure that they would go through it and give you their feedback, especially when they know that you are serious with what you are doing. They will definitely come back to you on your answers, to tell you if it's fine and where you went wrong. So
thank you for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we still have time for some additional questions? Or?
Yeah, Tommy, I saw Etison's hand up from ACCA, and I'm sure he wants to talk about the practice platform because it's a whole world of new resource now, which I would also talk about. So Etison, please, if you don't mind, straight to the point, 1 minute. Yeah.
Thanks, Shay. You just mentioned it's really critical, the CBE practice platform, that you get familiar with it. There's been some changes. Unfortunately, I see that the chat is disabled. If not, I would have put the link, right? So with the CBE practice platform, when you approach it, there's a button to save offline, right? That saving offline allows for you to be able to share your attempt, with someone, your tutors, a peer, or someone who can review it, right? And then there's a video that supports you in how to self-mark. It provides a marking guide for you. So beyond you sharing it with your tuition provider or your tutor to mark, you can actually self-mark, right? So again, I will call my number out again. So as many as you require guide on how to be able to self-mark, I can share that video with you, because the CBE practice platform, especially for those at the skills and the professional level, it is a must use. I reply, it is critical and it's a must use by everyone. So my number again is, if you're reaching out outside
It's
the
in the
country,
chat area
+234.
It's in the chat area already.
Oh,
so
okay,
we put
it's
it there
disabled.
already. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's fine. You
And
can just reach
Etison,
out
maybe
to me.
something I can add. to what you've said is we will be having a session on practice platform exam techniques 2-3 weeks into lectures, and you would also be invited, where we will take our students through how to use it and why it is important that you use it well ahead of your exams. So I'm sure we'll have more time to talk about the benefits of the newly improved practice platform.
All right, thank you.
Tell me maybe one more question.
Okay. Enito, Femi Enito.
Yeah.
Thank you. My questions have been answered. Thank you.
Okay. Esther?
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is Anita.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I think my question is actually to Uju. And yeah, I heard when she mentioned, managing family, managing, every other thing and just placing priorities in general to be able to focus on the exams. So I just wanted to ask, when you were writing your exams, how many papers were you writing per exam session? And yeah, I just want to know how you're able to manage everything basically, because yeah, I think that's just my question. And how many exams do you actually exam papers do you advise to write per session? I mean, to be able to succeed in both, the number of papers you're writing basically. So yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
All right. So at every point in time, I wrote 2 papers. I never did more than 2 papers. I never wrote more than 2 papers at every sitting, either 1 or 2, depending on the season. In terms of my job, if it's during busy season, I try to probably attend lectures for 2, but I'll end up writing 1, right? And then the next sitting I will do 2, knowing fully well that okay, I have a background knowledge, a prior knowledge of one of the papers, and then so combining and sitting for the 2 will be easier. But I never did more than 2 at every sitting. I never did more than 2.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
Thank you, Ju. So this has been really insightful, and yes, I've had fun doing this. It's been my pleasure being your moderator. So I'll pass it on to a manager now for further questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we need to pass to Mr. Sheyi.
Yes. So first off, Tommy, fantastic job. Thank you so much for moderating this for us. Tommy is also a law tutor or leads the law lecturing team. So I'm sure from the way she was speaking, you can tell she's a lawyer. And Uju and Joan, thank you so much for sharing your experience as well. And very important to have you around. So thank you so much. And then Olubide Oshikoya, super excited to have you around. We appreciate your time as well. All right, so we want to get straight on to the how we support our students, and this is very important. I have just about 10 minutes to get through this, and obviously more details you will get that as you register and comment your lectures. Next slide, please. Manager, next slide. All right, so we have 3 major, lecture streams that you can join for the ACCA qualification. The first is standard lectures, next is intensive, and the other is revision course. The standard lecture, it's the standard lecture. It's for those writing June and December exams. And, it covers detailed lectures of the entire syllabus. So you have live classes, you have pre-recorded videos that you're to watch as well. Lectures will usually start immediately after release of results. So standard classes will start next week, Saturday. And I think the results will be released this week. So that runs for about 10 weeks with a break in between, mid-diet break based on the new structure we have. And then after that, revision starts. We also have a couple of, I think for this session, it's going to be 4 days when you would have weekday evening question practice sessions with your tutors, just to give them more time to solve more questions with you. Intensive classes are for those that are writing March or September exams. Typically, we will not usually advise that if you're writing a paper for the first time and you've not been doing any self-study, that you should attend intensive. Standard class will be ideal. So intensive are for those that are retaking a paper or reciting a paper, or they have done self-study and they just want to complement that with an intensive course. It goes for 7 weeks. That has started today. I think some papers started this morning at 8 a.m. And is it 8 a.m. or 9 a.m.? I think it's 9 a.m. So 8 a.m. Okay, it's actually 8 a.m. Yes, and that also now we have introduced weekday evening question practice as well. Just about 4 days as well, just to add more to, because I feel like one of the feedback we got from our intensive students was if we could enhance it with a bit more lecture hours. So we've added about 8 hours more to what we used to have. And then the revision course typically starts after standard lectures have ended. So this will be somewhere around mid-October. Suitable for candidates who have completed standard lectures, or those who are retaking a paper because they have completed standard lectures before. And then it typically would include a final mock exam, and that goes for 6 weeks. So on a normal day, we would expect that students will register for the standard class unless the intensive class is suitable for you. We have full-time weekday classes as well. If you recall from what Manager and Etisong presented, to start the ACCA qualification, sometimes even without a qualification, it is possible to start. And so our full-time classes are usually designed for knowledge modules, or what we call Foundation in Accountancy, FIA modules, where students can actually, commence with their WAEC results, for example, and sit 3 papers. And after that, once they pass that, they move to the skills level. So we've had huge success in this area. And so if you are here, you have loved ones, you have, your relatives or kids that you believe, while they are writing their WAEC, you want them to immediately start their ACCA journey. This is something you can definitely recommend. One of the benefits I had in my career was someone who provided guidance at a very early stage and allowed me to start my accounting journey very early in my career. So it's usually very helpful. We have some people that actually finish the ACCA qualification by the time they are 19 years old, 20 years old. And, that's becoming common nowadays. So that runs for about 10 weeks, starts in August for the coming session, and the old weekday classes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Initial registration with ACCA, we can help with that. And then where discounts are applied, we are also able to provide discounts and support you with your documents and work with ACCA Nigeria team to get you registered, and even payments that may need to be made. And then we are also a licensed CBE center. So there are 4 papers in ACCA, FA, MA, BT, and business law that are on-demand papers, meaning you can write those exams at any time you choose. Obviously subject to agreeing with Ivy League the time you want to come in. We offer very competitive prices, so we provide that facility for you to write your exam at our premises. Next slide. Manager, next slide, please. Okay, so what we have here is our lecture plan, a sample lecture plan. And this lecture plan just basically shows how your lectures throughout the period will, evolve. One thing we have tried to ensure is to make changes based on the feedback we have heard from our students and based on what we believe is the right thing to do in order to increase students' chances of passing. So you would observe from this lecture plan that live classes will now be every weekend. Before now, it used to be every other weekend, so it will be every weekend. In your class material folder, once you have been registered and set up on Microsoft Teams, which is the platform through which we host our lectures, you will have access to your lecture plan. The essence of the lecture plan, the lecture plan is so important. The essence of the lecture plan is it helps you to track progress. It helps you to know whether a particular area of the syllabus that should have been covered by a tutor has been covered and when it was covered. It helps you to know what the tutor is going to teach ahead, who is going to teach it, what question are they going to practice. It states the assignment or homework, as you can see, homework 1, homework 2, and all of that you are to do. This is just an extract, so it's not a full lecture plan that you are to do. And then, we've now included the syllabus and the structure of the paper in the lecture plan so that you can see that at a glance as you commence your study for any particular paper. Again, another thing you will notice, if you've been with us before and, you're joining again, you will see that the lecture plan now contains the hours for the videos that you are to watch each week. So for example, if I'm starting a AAA class, I think this is AFM class, and I give students an overview of what they need to know for certain sections of the syllabus, then I will tell them, okay, these are the videos you have to watch for the week. So 4 hours needs to be invested before the next class. And another thing that we have amended is there is now a teaching element that has been included in our live classes. So before now, we come to class with the expectation that students have watched the video and we practice questions during live classes. But now we've designated certain days for teaching, providing an overview, a summary, a key learning points related to various areas of the syllabus. You will still need to go to the videos in order to be able to have a detailed understanding of what the topics and the key concepts in those topics are. So please look out for the lecture plan. Lecture plans are also critical for you to design your own personal study plan. I would expect that every CA student should have their own study plan and they're able to align it with the lecture plan so that, for example, when we finish lectures by end of September, early October, you have also finished your own review of the syllabus and you're very excited to register for your exams and do your revision. I want to emphasize something. Next slide, please. One major reason why a lot of students sometimes don't feel confident to register for the exam when the deadline is approaching is the amount of preparation they have put in before that deadline, okay? So it's important that you feel confident. It's important that you design your own study plan effectively so that you can track what the lecture plan is asking you to do. That way, when it comes to October or whatever time it's time to register for exam, you don't feel like, oh, I don't think I'm well prepared. I want to defy it and all of that. And there's a journey that should take you 2 years. It's now taking 3 years and more because of deferrals. While the ACTA qualification is flexible, you also have to ensure that you have to get this done and move on with other things in life, right? So very important that you stay focused on any plan that you have designed at the beginning of a session. So this slide identifies 6 critical changes that we have made to our tuition delivery structure. The first one is that the lecture hours have been increased substantially. So before now, for live classes, standard class, that is for those writing December, it used to be 28 hours for those live classes. That is 7 live classes with 4 hours each, which is 28 hours. But now we have increased it to 40 hours. So there will be 4-hour classes every weekend, okay? And that gives tutors more time to teach, more time to solve questions, and more time to support our students. The same thing for intensive. Intensive used to be 28 hours. We've added an additional 8 hours, so it's 36 hours in all now. And I even should say that even for the standard class, if I had the weekday evening classes that you're going to have, it's probably getting to 48 hours. It's just more time to get you through your exams. The second thing is that live classes will now happen every weekend. I think I've talked about that. So we don't have those, every other weekend or breaks that we used to have before. Then we will have weekday evening classes for about 4 days. The dates are already stated in the lecture plan, and I think maybe I can project a sample of the lecture plan once I'm done with this. And then you also have the standardized approach. So whether you're registering for PM, or you're registering for tax, or you're registering for advanced tax, or you're registering for SBL, or you're registering for SBR, it's the same approach. Everybody knows what they are to do in terms of the lecturing team, and we are following the same approach school-wide. Your assignments are made known to you. The questions we are going to do in class are made available to you. The practice platforms will be used, study hub will be used, and all those things. And then we'll have mid-diet breaks. So I think end of August, we would have a break, 1 weekend where there will be no lectures. And when standard lectures end as well, we would also have a break, 1 weekend break before revision starts. So you've introduced such breaks so that students can catch their breath and catch up on any outstanding videos that you have before classes commence again. And then we have earlier completion of the syllabus. I think people love those breaks. So thank you for recognition. Manager, please go back, please. So earlier completion of syllabus. So we realized that our current structure does not really give us enough time to administer mock exams, and we want to administer mock exams. We are also working with ACCA to see how we can make this, very digital, very close to the exam scenario, where we are not just telling you to go and attempt it and submit it within a time frame, but we are designating a weekend for mock exams, okay? You log in, you do your mock at the designated time, you submit, it's marked virtually, and the results are also made available, and then we can have a day for debrief of those mocks. So for that to happen, we have to finish lectures about a week earlier. And so that's one of the benefits that we're going to be seeing, especially as we get into the revision phase. Next slide, please. Now, this is not only about what are we here to do for you and how we support you. Let me be honest with you, and I need to emphasize this. And you probably observed when Uju was talking about Binio earlier on, that sometimes he gets so passionate about student success that he takes it personal if he sees that you are not putting in the effort. This is about putting in the effort, right? Many people have excelled in their ACCA exams, but very few people will tell you it wasn't a challenging journey. And neither will you see anyone who will tell you it wasn't rewarding, okay? There are responsibilities. When you decide that you want to write a professional exam, there are responsibilities. While ACCA wants you to pass, they will never water down the standard. And so if the script you have submitted does not meet the pass standard, the candidate would have to resit the paper. We don't want that for you. We want you to attempt, on first attempt, pass the paper and move on to do other things, right? So, but you have responsibilities as part of this process. The first responsibility is to attend all classes that you have registered for. And if for any unavoidable reason you miss a class, you watch the recorded videos for that class, because every live class is recorded before your next class. It is a responsibility. It's a commitment you have to live by. The second is to focus and participate. Now, online classes are beautiful and fantastic, but they have their challenges. There is no assurance that someone whose mic is muted without the videos on is listening to a tutor. Okay, there's absolutely no assurance. And so sometimes when we call names in class just to get that assurance that you are in the class and you are listening and you are following. You don't want to be watching Premier League while you are, watching football, or preparing your meal while you are, sorry, I said Premier League while you're watching football, Premier League while you're listening to lectures, right? So you want to ensure you are concentrating, not only concentrating, you are participating. I usually say there are some papers like audits, whether audits and assurance at the skills level or advanced level. The more you participate, the more you contribute, the more you can get the tutors to correct the wrong things, because those are very tricky papers where students can easily write out of point. So you have to participate. You have to ask questions. Watch the assigned videos. That's the third responsibility. So every week you have videos that you are to watch. That's the minimum. And then after that, you do your homework. The homework is assigned to each video that you have watched, or each series of video that you have to watch for the week. So one of the things we observed from the model we had before was that students were sometimes saying, okay, there were too many videos to watch because sometimes they're taking 2 papers and all of that. So now that they are now weekly, some are 3 hours, some are 4 hours, some are 5 hours. We've ensured that we don't have papers where you have huge amount of hours of videos to watch within a short period of time. Okay, but in any case, whether it's 5 hours per week you need to dedicate to watching the video before the next class, you need to commit to that. And just as I think it was Joanne that said, you are the one that have a responsibility to know what works for you. I remember I used to tell a story of one of our tutors when he was studying for ACCA. He told me that he would park his car at home. He wouldn't drive because his house is quite a distance to work, and he would take BRT because BRT was quite close to where he was living at that time. He would take BRT to where he has a very, known corner where he sits in the BRT. And so I'm talking about many years ago. So he goes in with his text, goes in into that corner, and that there was one of his paper, that paper was called Professional Accountants at that time, that he read the entire textbook in his BRT journey to work and back. Early morning, he goes to that corner, sits down, is reading his text. You know what will work for you, and scenarios of different individuals vary. You may be, a mother with kids. You may be a young person just starting out, which means you have more time. So you would know what works for you. The next is you need to attend 3 mock exams. Extremely important. So whether it's the mock exam that will be organized by Ivy League or your own self-assessed mock exams, the statistics is clear. People who sit enough mock exams have a higher chance of passing. I think ACCA usually attributes about 15 to 20% higher chance of passing than those who do not write mock exams. So please, anticipate that, prepare for it. The reason why people don't write mock exams is because they leave things to the last minute, or sometimes they don't feel confident enough. Or sometimes they feel like, oh, I still have more things to read. I don't have time for mock now. Mock is an inherent process of preparing and passing your exams. Very important. And no matter how less confident you feel, recognize that it's part of the learning process. So do it, commit to it and do it. And the final one is use the study hub and practice platform. We don't have any textbook that we give to students at Ivy League. ACCA has already made available textbooks to all students, which are digital textbooks, and that's available through the study hub. And in the study hub, you would also see a lot of questions assigned to each topic. That study hub is your textbook. If you decide to add any additional thing like BPP text or Kaplan text, that's your choice, right? But at the minimum, you should use the study hub and the lecture slides and materials, lecture, live class videos, and all of that that you get from Ivy League. Practice platform, very essential. That is the platform through which you will write your exams. So especially if you are joining ACCA for the first time or you're coming from ICANN, for example, these are computer-based exams. They are not paper-based. And so it's important to get used to practicing on the platform and get used to navigating through it. Was I muted? Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
We can hear you,
Okay. Did you miss anything? I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
We
No, we
can
heard
hear
everything you
you.
said.
Where you went off, there wasn't anything we missed. So right on.
All right. Okay. All right. Brilliant. Manager, your slide is not up. Maybe I'll just project it from my hand. So don't worry. Let me just project it from here. I hope I can easily get there. Yeah. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, good. Okay. So, I think I was going to go on to, so practice platform, extremely important. Now, just look at these 6 areas and take note of it, okay? I mean, I'm not asking for more than this. If you can do this, I mean, you've made that journey so smooth and easy, okay? Just put down the 6 things. That is your responsibility. Commit to it. Now, throughout the diet, we're going to be holding some webinars. So for example, when we have our mid-diet break, we would have webinars where we will take you through practice platform, take you through some additional resources that we believe will be very helpful, and even take you through some psychological aspects of passing an ACCA exams and what you can do if you are facing one challenge or the other. Okay, so please watch out for that. I think we have come to the end of our session today, and now we will be able to take as much questions as we can take. So if you have questions, kindly raise your hand and we will take those questions. You will see here our social media platforms. Please follow us. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on, Twitter or X. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us on Facebook. It's a very vibrant page, and there are lots of tips that we also drop from our social media team and our lecturing team as well. Okay. Manager, are you there? Are you able to coordinate Q&A?
Yes. Thank you very much for your presentation. I think that was simple, easy to digest. Thanks so much, and thank you everyone for waiting. We are winding up. I have some questions that the students the attendees have already posted. I will quickly want to go through one or two, and I want for you to raise your hands. We'll be calling you according to how you raised your hand. So,
sorry, manager. I'm sorry to cut in. Yeah, let's just put some ground rules. Keep your question as short, precise, concise as possible, okay? So that we can take as much questions as we can take. We will please appreciate that. And then 2, we would also try to keep our answers as short as possible. And then the third thing is, let's pack the questions in 3s, okay?
Thank you very much, sir. So first question I'll take from Uluwa Bemisola Oni, who wants to know what advice are we giving a student who have taken a break for 2 years and wants to come back to take the papers, and then if it is possible for ACCA to reduce subscription fee or exemption fee. I think, Gbemisola, you joined us a bit late. ACCA, if you are registering now, you have about 75% reduction for some papers, and for some papers, it's even more than 75% reduction you get for exemption fee. And then the first question, I'll leave it for Mr. Sheyi to respond to that quickly. Someone who has taken a break for 2 years and wants to come back, what advice will you give that person? And also for Mr. Sheyi, so that I can bucket those questions. The students want to know if after completing ACCA, he can realistically find a remote role, especially in finance or accounting. From my own experience, I'll say yes. I'll say yes, so that I won't use that to take more over time. So, Mr. Shea, you may want to just quickly respond to that student who wants to know.
Yeah. So coming back after 2 years is quite popular. We have people that do that, take a break. Sometimes those breaks are even important because they allow you to come back fresh and better. So what I would say is, I mean, it depends on where you stopped and why you stopped and why you are coming back. Your motivation needs to be sharp, right? You have to be motivated. You have to know why you're coming back. If it's not part of your, objectives or something you want to achieve, then there's absolutely no point. But the fact that you're asking the question probably indicates that you are interested in coming back. So first thing is ensure that you are highly motivated, and one of the ways to stay
I think we lost Mr. Shea. I don't know if it's on my own end. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I think we lost Mr. Shea.
I think there's somebody playing with the mic and all of that. So please just don't mute me when I'm speaking, please, just so that we don't waste a lot of time. Okay, so what I was saying was that it's difficult to advise on paper, to give paper specific advice, because I don't know what level you're joining from. But if you are coming back after a long time, you need to ensure you are motivated, you need to start lectures. I think one of the ways to get back on track is to register, with Ivy League. I can't even think of any other place you can register. So you need to register with Ivy League. That way you would have colleagues, you would have tutors you can talk to, you would have that support system through the journey, right? And obviously, there may be knowledge dependent. So for example, if it's the professional level papers that you want to write, there are some skill level papers that the knowledge of it is expected to be carried forward into the professional level, right? But because you have been out for 2 years, you might have forgotten some of those things. So that may mean that you may need to pace yourself. Don't overdo it. Don't, for example, come back after a long time and say, I want to write 4 papers at a go. Do you understand? Because if, for example, you want to write AFM and AAA, you may need to do a little bit of catch up with the skill level equivalent papers. Do you understand? And that may take more time. So I think with all of that, you should be fine. There's nothing wrong with taking a break, but once you're back, just make sure that you are motivated. Yeah. And then remote job. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like finding any other job. Yeah. People get all sorts of jobs with ACCA. And I think that's the thing about the qualification. It is so robust. And I'm not saying this because I'm at Ivy League or anything. I've done other qualifications as well. And when I look at the ACCA qualification, Can we mute our mic, please? When I look at the ACV qualification, I look at the support they provide to students, I look at the diversity. Did you see what Etisong presented earlier on? One of the optional modules that will be included in professional level is called data science. Okay, so that's to tell you how much how much ACCA is incorporating tech and technology and things related to cloud and data analytics and I even saw that you can register for some employability modules. I saw Python there, which is a programming language. You can, they even have other diplomas that you can register if you feel like you need to complement that with your ACCA qualification. So it's quite broad. Various areas of finance are covered. And so I think it will really benefit you in terms of being able to show your capabilities to an employer. Manager? Manager, are you there?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Thank you very much for that response. I'll take Olua Tomilola. Please make your questions short. Then please, you can also ask your questions so you can bucket in three. And then Ruth, I'll take you next. So please, Olua Fumilola, can you unmute and ask your question? Okay, so while we wait for Olua Fumilola, please, can you please, Umiri? Can you
Thank you
please
so
unmute
much.
and ask your question?
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Okay.
So I can hear you,
Can you hear
Olua Fumilola, go
me?
ahead.
Yeah,
I can
thank you
hear you,
so
go
much
ahead.
for this session and giving me the opportunity. So I'm a first timer. I've never tried to attempt ACCA, but I have ICANN. And joining this session, I'm really motivated and I'm ready to start my journey. So I don't know, the chat section is actually not open, and there were some references to the chat, like how do I go about registering with Ivy League and starting my journey and also partaking of the exemption. Also, being a first timer, I would like to attend like online classes for the standard. I don't know if that is also available. Like, is it just the live classes that are available for standard tutorials? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Your question is noted. 2 points. You want to know how to join Ivy League.
Yes.
Yes, I'll drop my number. I'll drop 2 numbers. Please
Okay.
chat either of those numbers. We'll give you the full details. You can also speak to us via
No, manager,
social media.
manager, I think you should answer it in terms of the registration process, right?
Okay. All right. So we'll need to know what the student is, what paper the student is taking. We also need to know so that we can advise. And then once we know, identify, conclude that, we tell you the cost of these classes, give you the school accounts. Once you pay, we profile you, create and add you to our LMS. That within 48 hours of filling the form, your profile will be ready, where you see the presentation that was earlier presented by Mr. Sheyi, where you can see your lecture plan and then your study materials and what have you. So payment made, once payment made, we profile you. You get an email with your signing credentials. You also get some videos that will guide you on how to use both the Microsoft LMS and Ivy League LMS. However, I'm still going to drop the phone numbers so that you can chat us for the timetable to know the cost and everything.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, yeah, but secondly, so the classes are online. The classes are online, supported with the pre-recorded videos. What Mr. Sheyi did not, and I believe he was being modest when he was talking about the pre-recorded videos. One of the things he did not really, I think he would have emphasized more, is the fact that these videos were carefully and professionally recorded to give you a first-time understanding of it. You understand? So online classes with pre-recorded videos. Thank you very much. Ruth, please, I'm unmute and ask your question.
Thank you.
All right,
Good
sir.
morning.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning,
morning,
sir. Good morning,
everyone.
everyone. All right. So my question is this: the last students asked a particular question of the chats being locked. Actually, I experienced that because initially when you wanted to give your number and it said it was already on the chat, as Mr. Shay said it was already on the chat. I checked for the chat; it's locked. Up till now, it's still locked. I can't access the chat. Then, secondly, I did not study anything about accounting. I studied biology, and while I work in a bank and I want to venture into accounting line. So I'm to do the foundation class. So the person that got to me said I need to do 3 courses, and they are, according to what Mr. Shay said in demand, meaning that I can take it at any point in time in the year. So I wanted to confirm if truly it's that way, because I've been hearing that May, June, and September and December. So other than May, June, September, what if I want to write in between? Is it possible to write as other than September, before December, if I want to write in between those months, is it possible? Or yes, we're already in June. Okay, yes. So the next one is September. So in between September to December, is it possible I write between? Or I have to
Noted.
wait till hello?
Noted. Thank you. Ruth, go ahead, please.
Okay, hi everyone. Good morning. So, my question is this regarding the PER. So, I recently transitioned to finance and accounting, though I have a BSc and master's in finance. So, is this something that I have to start recording my experience now, or do I need to wait, like on the platform, or do I need to wait till I am actually like done with the exams before I start recording my experience? And that's because I just have like a 6 month experience in finance and accounting. And I don't even have ICANN. I'm just starting, with ACCA. Then my second question is that, so you mentioned that there's this extra fee for knowledge, for applied knowledge. I'm not writing applied knowledge, I'm writing skills because I got exemptions for applied knowledge. Is there also an extra fee aside exam fee, maybe just to write the exam, because that applies to knowledge? I don't just want to know if it's the same thing as for skills. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Just a quick note. When we use the word live classes, we don't mean it is face-to-face. They are live online classes. So live classes are live online classes, okay? When Peace was asking about when can I write my exams, so there are two types of timing that we have in ACCA. There are on-demand papers, there are session-based papers. On-demand papers are 4 papers, which are the knowledge level papers and then corporate and business law. Those are the 4 papers you can write anytime you feel prepared to write them, okay? Every other paper from performance management down to the professional level are session-based, meaning they are only written either in March, June, September, or December. You can't write it outside that window. Next, on the numbers are on the screen now. I'm sure you guys can see it. So the social media page is there, and then the phone numbers for manager and the admin team generally. You can call anyone on that number or send a WhatsApp message, and they'll be happy to provide additional guidance. PER recording. Yes, you can start recording your PER the moment your platform has been set up, okay? So as long as you have registered with ACCA and you have your My ACCA login details, you can record any past experience or current experience you have. In fact, the best thing is to record as you progress, so that the moment you finish your final exams, it's even ACCA that will send you an email inviting you to become a member immediately. So you don't have to spend time being an affiliate. In fact, that term affiliates, I sometimes struggle to know why we have that, because the essence of ACCA is membership, okay? Membership, be able to use the designation after your name. Exemption fees. Yeah, if your question is, if I've been exempted from knowledge papers and I'm starting from skill, will I need to pay the fee for those papers I've been exempted from? I believe the answer to that is yes, but based on perhaps discounted rates. Manager, is that correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, and if your question is related to something else, please chat with the admin team on the numbers. They'll be happy to help you. Esther, please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon. This is my question. Basically, I want to write those foundation level exam, and I heard that there's no class for that now. So I want to ask, is it possible to get any previously recorded videos, maybe to pay for it, so that I can use to pay for my exams?
Okay, I'm not sure I understand what we mean by there's no class for that. Who told you that? How did you get that? We have classes for foundation in accountancy or knowledge module, which is financial accounting, management accounting, and business and technology, BT. Those classes starts on Saturday next week. And yeah, I think that's the class you need. But if you are talking about papers before that level, yeah, we don't offer lectures for that. And I'm not sure those are the papers you're talking about. So please speak to the admin team. They will guide you accordingly. Esther Onoa, actually, Esther Onoa.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for this opportunity. So my question briefly is, can lecture payments be made instrumentally? That's it.
Okay, the answer to that is a standard no, but we are often open to an agreement with the team. So manager has a way of managing such scenarios where you want to have a payment plan, but we generally do not take part payments. Okay. Olaoluwa, go ahead. So Esther, in this case, just please call those numbers and have a conversation with them.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Olaoluwa Ibukun, and thank you for this opportunity to actually join this group of professionals over here. My first question is that for me, I'm a banker, and most of the time, Saturday, Sunday, we go for ATM duties, and sometimes all these packed AML lectures for during our work hours and stuff like that. So I was now thinking, if during these live classes, can it be recorded for we that, okay, during the time of the live class where maybe we joined towards the end, we joined close to the end or something like that. Can it be recorded also for us?
Yeah.
And
so
the second question, and the second question for me is, fine, I've been having talent to actually believe, because I just concluded my ICANN qualification, and I was now thinking of I was being skeptical of me going to do my ACCA. For instance, I graduated with 2-2 due to one way or the other, due to ICANN issues and everything. I graduated with 2-2, and I've been having it difficult to actually get my dream job, to be in an audit firm, probably all these big four, work as a financial controller. But the best job. So I was not like, with ACCA, will I get a better offer, or will they still consider my 2-2 and still get me limited? So I'm just finding it difficult to hold that. Thank you, sir.
Very nice questions. Thank you, Olaoluwa. And thank you for your ATM duties, because I know how difficult it is when there's no cash in the ATM. Okay. So on your first question, yes, so all live classes are recorded. All live classes are recorded, so students can access it anytime. So that's why we distinguish pre-recorded videos from live class recording. So pre-recorded videos are the tuition, the syllabus that we have taken time, as manager said, taking time to record in detail to provide explanations of questions. But then for the live classes, those are also recorded, and within 48 hours of the conclusion of the class, the link to the videos are uploaded so that students can watch it at their time. But please, as I said earlier, whatever you can do to avoid missing a live class, you should do it. Because let me be honest with you, it's not very easy sitting in front of your computer and watching long videos where you could have joined a live class, okay? On your second question, which is very interesting, so the first thing I would say is if the employers that you would like to work for or the kind of job you would like to do demands that you have a 2-1, then having ACCA qualification on its own will not solve that problem, okay? However, the ACCA qualification gives you an opportunity to earn a degree. And because you already have the, Nigerian degree or the degree you currently hold, and you have NYSC, you have everything. So what I will do in your situation is probably to say, what can I do to earn another degree to ACCA? So you have two options. Do I want to follow the Oxford Brookes University path, or do I want to do the University of London path? With Oxford Brookes University, it may mean that you will need to forego 3 papers that you would have been exempted from because you will need to do them with ACCA and then do your project. So those 3 papers will be audit and assurance, financial reporting, and then financial management, right? So you do those 3 papers. As an ICANN member, I think you can do those papers in one sitting and get through it. Then do your project, working with our project mentor to support you in that process. And you can get a BSc. You can even earn a first class with that BSc. And then you present that BSc to demonstrate that you have taken the steps to correct. I use the word correct in quotes because there's really nothing wrong on its own with tutu. But to correct, whatever needs to be corrected, and that I have a 2-1 or I have a first class from OBU, and then I have the ACCA designation or ICANN designation. I think that's what I would advise if that is your plan. But if you don't want to do that, then you may have to consider alternatives. Okay. Tracy, please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So thank you so much for this session. So my question is actually regarding the changes to the ACCA qualification in 2027. So I'm just wondering, like someone that's starting the journey, say this year, because I would be starting with the knowledge modules because I'm still in school, and I'm estimating that by that 2027 I would be on like maybe the last step, like the professional level. So is it going to be, once those changes are implemented, would you complete the previous qualification roadmap, or would you then switch over to the new one? So that's just what I'm a bit confused about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very easy stuff. If you are still in the journey, when the changes are made, there will be a conversion policy, and the conversion policy will only be at a minimum favorable. You will never have to repeat a paper because they have made changes. In fact, if you look at what Etisong presented, students who as at now have to write 4 professional level papers. Under the new arrangement, they are only to write 3. So it may even work to benefit any student who gets there at that time. Do you understand? So you just convert to the new structure and you can be rest assured that you will not be worse off. Okay. Next person should be Marvis.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So apologies to drag us back if we had already talked about this. But my question is, after successfully completing all the ACCA professional exams, are we immediately eligible for membership induction, or are there other additional requirements that we must meet before becoming eligible? Thank you. That's it.
Are there other after
additional requirements, like after completing and passing all your papers?
Yeah. So as I said earlier, there's the exams, there's the ethics module, and there's the experience. So you complete your exams. As part of completing your exams, you also have to do the ethics and professional skills module online training. Okay. And then once that is completed, you become an affiliate. And then you need to have 36 months experience, relevant experience, to demonstrate that you are able to you've gained relevant experience to support your qualification. Again, that experience could have been from your past work, current work, or future work. 3 E's: exams, ethics module, experience. Okay? Olabisi.
Okay, thank you.
Olabisi,
Yes.
you're on mute? Okay, so
Hello.
there are 2
Hello. Good
Olabisis
afternoon.
now. Okay, you just go ahead, please.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so my questions are two. One is that does Ivy League have like a WhatsApp group where they share information about current happenings with ACCA in terms of exams, updates, in terms of payment?
Yep.
And my other question is, I'm familiar with the ICANN paper-based questions and exams. So coming into ACCA, what would you advise when I want to write some questions, some papers? Would you advise I go for the calculation part first, or would you advise I go with the written part like AA? Because I know AA mostly doesn't really have calculations, but computer-based questions. I would like to know how well it works with calculations for a first timer.
All right, thanks. So regarding your first question, yes, we have WhatsApp groups. Every class has a WhatsApp group, and then everybody joins the broader group for the school where information is disseminated that everybody needs to know. So once you register, that will be done. And I think the third WhatsApp group we have are study groups where we divide students within a class into smaller groups so that you guys can get to know yourselves and study as study groups. So those are the 3 WhatsApp groups. On your other question, I would say that whether you want to start with I mean, that doesn't really matter whether you're starting with calculation in 10 papers or not written narrative answers. In fact, because you have ICANN already and you may be starting from professional level, I often tell candidates that what they sometimes get wrong, a wrong perception, is to have a perception that one particular paper has more calculation than narrative responses that are required. A paper like AFM, people will think that, oh, majority of it is calculation. That's a lie. A paper like APM, people will think majority of it is calculation. That's a lie. Same thing for SBR. Sometimes when you look at this paper, the marks they give for the narrative content is more than the marks they give for the calculation content. And sometimes they are 50-50. So don't let that decide what you start with. Do you use Excel at work? Yes. You will need to use similar skills with your practice platform. You don't even need to be as proficient on Excel as you will need to be on the practice platform. So please, the more important thing is to familiarize yourself with the practice platform. As long as you have a computer and as long as you are able to type on a computer, you will have no problem. Okay, Rama, go ahead.
My name is Rama, and I only have one question, which is, I'm in the middle of my ACCA journey, and I'm going abroad for my master's. Is it that I have to put it on hold, or even if I'm abroad, I can still book an exam? That's it. Thank you.
Wherever you are, maybe only Antarctica. Maybe Etison can correct me. I don't know if ACC has set up a branch there as well. But wherever you are in the world, you can write ACC exams. And that's why it's important to target a global designation like ACCA. So that's not an issue at all. In fact, I won't say most, a number of students that join my live classes are not from based in Nigeria, right? So and that's the case throughout some other papers as well. Olabisi, second, if you don't mind me saying that, Olabisi, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Shei. Sorry, my question is on, I want to get more details on the discount that the manager earlier spoke on. Like if you pay now, we get certain discounts for the exam.
Yeah, so please just reach out to manager on those numbers you have there. There are discounts that are available. I think subscription and exemption discounts that a lot of people are taking advantage of. So just call those numbers. They'll be happy to help you. Juliet, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, can you hear me? Good afternoon.
Yes.
Okay, I'm Juliet. So I'm currently on the professional stage right now. So during my CCA journey, part of the reason why I choose to start this is unlike ICANN was because of the global recognition, right? So coming down, especially in this stage, right? So I learned that with my CCA qualification, I can't actually practice in the United States. So because I don't want to limit myself, right? So because of the global recognition that I could get an opportunity anywhere around the world I want to. So getting this information, especially now that I'm in the professional stage, is really heartbreaking. So because the United States right now have their own qualification called the CPA exam.
Yeah.
Is there like a treaty or an agreement with, because I heard also that even the ICANN now started having an agreement with some countries where ICANN is actually recognized in some country, but why is SCCA not recognizing states? Or
Got your question. I got your question. Do you have any other one?
Okay, maybe let me just finish. Like, okay, if it's not, is there a way that with my CCA I can actually get the CP? Maybe we just deciding to do or something like that.
Yeah, so ACCA is not a qualification that you can use to practice. Please, let's use the word practice properly. It doesn't mean you can't get a job with ACCA. I sat on the ACCA Global Council. We had about 4 members who are based in the United States that were also on the Global Council, and they are actually still on the council. And it's a very vibrant community over there with various chapters they have, because obviously the States is very big. So it's very possible to connect you with this if you move there and that you find that relevant. It's not that you can't work with it, but you can. When we use the word practice, we mean you cannot sign report. You cannot practice as an auditor, for example. Sorry, are we muting people, manager? Okay, so sorry, let me just get this person out. All right, so you
So we can't hear you anymore.
I think you are muted. It's possible you are speaking, but you are muted.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure of the last thing I said, but yeah, I think that's it. So when we say practice is to act as an auditor or to act as a CFO who signs a published account. Do you understand? Doesn't mean you can't get a job with ACCA in the United States. So if your intention is to practice as a tax consultant or an auditor or have your own practice, for example, then obviously you need a CPA. And no doubt CPA as well, because CPA is by far more recognized in the United States than ACCA because obviously it's United States. They have their own ways of doing things. And US GAAP is also very different in some areas from IFRS reporting standards, which ACCA syllabus is based on. So for those reasons, you should be thinking about, the possibility of getting a CPA if that's your intention. Okay. All right. So we'll move to the next person. Temitope.
Question. Hello, can you hear me?
Temitope, go ahead, please.
Hello, Mr. Sheyi and Ivy League team.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes, not Temitope Adebayo. Sorry, just Temitope. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. My question is this. I like one of the speakers mentioned earlier that you can start contributing if you plan to write your exam by December, you can start sending money into your account ahead of that period. So my question is, I envisage that I plan to write by December, and I envisage by that December, I won't be in Nigeria. I'll probably be in the United Kingdom. So I want to know if can I also use those credits or the money I already contributed into my account to also write in the United Kingdom. I understand that the money might be different, but if I start contributing so that I don't get overwhelmed by then, can I also use that credit to write the exam when I get to the United Kingdom? And if I register through Ivy League, is there any issue with respect to that, or I have to get a tutorial center in the United Kingdom to do registration for me? Thank you.
No, you can register with Ivy League. There's no issue with that. You can pay ahead. Whatever you pay ahead, I believe it is converted into pounds and credited into your account. Pounds is pounds. Wherever you go in the world, you can use it to pay for what you need to pay for. Whether the exam fee you pay as a Nigerian will be different from the exam fee you pay as a Nigerian living in the UK, that may be a different matter. I don't know whether Itisong is here and can answer that, but I don't think that's an issue.
I think
it's more expensive outside Nigeria because Nigeria is on a rate card market. So if you're writing an exam in the UK, it's more expensive. So you just pay the difference.
Okay. So another thing I would like to add to our question is, if you have not done your ACCA registration, it is advisable. You are a Nigerian. It is advisable that your registration is done in Nigeria. Otherwise, the discounted exemption, discounted registration fee, will not be applicable to you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. And so, Temitope, if you have further questions, speak to manager, please. Omalara. We have a hard close by 12:30. So if we are not able to get to your question by 12:30, please, you can call those numbers or send messages to those numbers. Clara, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So I have two questions. My first question, I joined a bit late. So I heard when you were trying to answer someone's question and you were like, at some point, the professional level, you're going to write 3 papers. I'm not very clear on that because I'm aware we write 4 papers at professional level. So that is not very clear. My second question is, at Ivy League, do they have physical classes? And the reason why I'm asking that question is because for someone like me, I like being present in class when I'm taking lectures. I'm not very, very used to online classes. Plus, I'm taking the September diet and I'm going to be I'll be joining the intensive classes, and I want intensive studying, and there are lots of distractions at home. So do they have physical classes where we can come in and take lectures? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lara. So your first question, you probably jumped in at the wrong time when I was talking. Yes, you do 4 papers at the professional level now. That will be the case until September 2027. From September 2027, it will be 3 papers. That was what I was saying. Regarding do we have face-to-face lectures? No, we don't, and we don't intend to at this time. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with carrying your laptop, your modem, go to Ivy League and join the online class from there. We have the premises and we have a conducive environment. Hope that helps. Mosumola.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay, it's just going to be a paper-specific question. For someone like me that was exempted from skills level as a result of ICANN certification, but I have a special interest in taxation, is it advisable to go for advanced taxation at professional level in ACCA? Knowing quite well that is different from, what I was coming from in ICANN.
Yes, it is. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And you can obviously talk to your tutor as well from the first class and explain your circumstance. But you are not doing a new thing. There are a lot of people who come to ACCA fresh and starting from professional level, and they love tax and they want to do tax. I actually do think one bonus to add is that in recent times, our advanced tax pass rate has been fantastic. I don't know what those guys are doing, but yeah, I mean, they do very well. Elijah, go ahead, please.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity today. Honestly, since morning, I've been enjoying it all through. Okay, my question is this. I heard about BSc in professional accounting or accountancy, as the case may be. I really want to because that sounds great. Now, me, I have a HND in accounting, and I've also registered with ACCA, and I had some exemptions, foundation level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the one law. Yes, I think so. Yeah. So, do I qualify for this professional accountancy BSc? And
Elijah, thanks for the compliments. And do you have any other thing you want to ask?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. You qualify for the BSc. And if you've taken a paper you should not have taken, you can. Sorry, no. I take that back. You qualify for it. I don't think you've written any paper yet, have you?
I've not.
So even if you're exempted from business law and knowledge papers, you could just indicate at the time of registering or before you write the last 3 papers in skills level that you are interested in OBU. But again, be aware of the transition. If it's OBU degree you want, you will need to submit before the final date of May next year, final submission. I think we only have 2 submissions left.
The University of London, I prefer.
If it's University of London, then you're on the right track. You can always call the team to have more details that you may need. Stephanie, go ahead, please. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I skipped something. Is there, after the level, that is professional accountancy BSc, is there exemptions? I mean, which level remain after that certification? Is it the professional level that remains to complete, or there are some courses on the skill level?
BSc is different from ACCA qualification. You are only just getting to reduce the number of papers you write in the BSc because they will look at the papers you've written in ACCA. ACCA, you move from skills and skills to professional to complete ACCA. But when you complete skills or write some papers at the skills level, you can complement that to write additional papers for your BSc and then project, okay? So again, maybe I should also say something. We have an open day for BSc degree, whether it will be University of London, August 9th. Watch out for that, and you can ask, questions that relate to that. But, you have time to do that, and you're on the right path currently, okay? That's the most important thing, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Stephanie, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I was going to ask about experience recording. How do I go about that?
Okay, so if you look at the slide that we projected, and I can quickly take you there. Let me see if I can do that quickly. So in terms of recording your experience, so if you look at this, this is a 1-hour video on ACCA's YouTube page called PER Explained, Your Road to Membership, Your Road to ACCA. So go on YouTube, search with this, and you will see the video. Go through it. It tells you everything you need to know. Okay. Next person should be Abdul Rahim. That video takes you through the step-by-step process and answers most of your question. If you have any additional question after that, then we're happy to help. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. So
Good
my
afternoon.
question is regarding the ethics model. So I just want to ask if it's part of the package that Ivy League are giving, or we'll do that after the exams. I just want to know. And then is there any cost, like cost implication of that also?
Yeah. So ethics and professional skills module is part of the things you need to do to complete the ACCA qualification. Ivy League does not have any input in that process, neither do we teach anything related to it. It's a web-based learning, which you can do at your pace. You should ideally do it before you start your professional level papers. And obviously you need to do it if you intend to submit your project for BSc as well. So it's a web-based learning. I think there's a charge that ACCA will charge you, but that's directly to ACCA. And I think it's about 15 hours of learning. It is a very useful web-based learning. I mean, I've not seen many web-based learning that compounds or combines so many different areas of finance together in a session, including ethics, including digital skills, leadership, and all those things. Okay. All right. So, manager, I would have to sign out now because I need to prepare for my class. So please, we have about 4 questions more, 4 people more with their hands up. You may wish to take that. But thank you everyone for joining us during this session. I will just hand over to manager. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time. Okay, Ayokomi, let's hear you.
Okay, good afternoon, manager. So my home question is, I just want to know what will happen if one books an exam and the person is not able to write the exam for the period. Is there a provision for one to defer the writing of the exam, or one has lost the money for the exam right away? That's the first one. Number 2, the second thing is, so for the professional level, what order would you advise that the papers be taken? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Should I help to answer?
Yes, I wanted
Okay.
Mr. Etiso to
All
go
right.
ahead.
So, right, and this information will be relevant to everyone. Part of why we encourage you to pay and book your exam early is to be able to gauge your level of preparedness on time, right? And that being said, there is a deadline within which you can make amends, cancel, rebook, changes to your exam. And that deadline is always the final day, the standard entry deadline. And in this case, it is July 28th. So if you change your mind after July 28th, sorry, you can't make any changes. That means if you don't turn up for the exam, that means you are absent and your money has gone to waste. That's why it's important early preparation by paying and booking. You're able to gauge long before the deadline, standard entry deadline, whether you're ready or not, and then you can make changes. So any changes after that, any decisions you have after that, sorry, you can't make changes. The second question is, our recommended order for taking the professional level exams is SBR first, that's first, and then you go into the optional papers. So if you want to take AFM, Triple A, whatever, you do the optional papers, finish the 2 optional papers, and end with SBL. SBL being the most extensive, the most different of all the papers that might require more rigor on your part. So SBR, optional papers, and then end with SBL.
Thank you, Mr. Edson. Thank you. All right, Abdurrahim, please let's make it short. We'll stop at Olumoyo or Olumayowa. Abdurrahim, please ask your question, please. Okay, let's have Isioma. Abdurrahim can come later. Isioma, please ask your question.
Hello?
Okay, go ahead. We can hear you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Please, I have two questions. I don't know if it has been answered earlier, but I know I've been going on and off for this one. So I'll just need more explanation to the two questions. So the first question is based on exam. We know we have two modes for this exam. We have the remote and we have the center-based. And going through the site is mostly in the sense that if it depends on the country, some country has center-based, some countries don't have center-based. So we that are Nigeria, for instance, do we have center-based here in Nigeria? And if it's remote, how do we go about it remotely? So that's the first question. So the second question is relating to how to guidelines on how to take each courses, because most of them are interrelated, so to say. It's more like they have connection in the sense that maybe this one subject is kind of interrelated to another. So in what category, especially for the skill level, on how to go about the 5 courses? Thank you very much.
Okay. I think your first question about remote and center-based, yeah, those two options are available to Nigerians, to people who are living and residents in Nigeria. You can write center-based, you can write remote-based. Both are registered for via your ACCA student platform. But because of one or two experiences, and because of the strength of our internet in Nigeria, as a personal advice, I don't encourage students to consider remote exams. If you have center available, go to the center. The cost of writing ACC is very high. If you write a remote exam and your internet midway decided to behave as a Nigerian, you will bear the responsibility. ACC will not bear that responsibility. And Mr. Edson is on this call to confirm or say otherwise if I'm not getting it right. You bear the responsibility. So, but to answer your question, there's center-based exam, and there is also remote exams. Then on paper arrangement, those papers, apart from financial reporting and audit and assurance, the rest, the other papers are independent of one another. Financial management stands alone. Taxation stands alone. You understand? But because of the financial standard that you will learn in financial reporting, it's important for you in audit and assurance because we are auditing against standards, and those standards are taught in financial reporting. Adewusi Victor.
Thank you very much. My own question, yeah, thank you very much. My question is just a little direct. I just want to find out. I know out of all these delivery lectures, I've known ACC that in ACC exam, one of the things that is most important is practice, practice, practice. But there, you know, when you practice and you are not getting it assessed by people, you know, when assessments are done, it gives you an idea of where you are lacking and what to work on. So I don't know what Ivy League is doing about that, where we can have more frequent access to lecturers or people who can assess, aside from mock, whatever we've done from time to time and give feedbacks and know where we want to work on, because I think that is very important. I know I've come here before and what I heard was that students are allowed to do self-assessment. Well, why that is good, but I feel that at times it might not be as objective enough. I just know if there's something that
all right,
Ivy League on that.
All right, Victor. All right, Victor. Thank you for that. To actually answer your concern is one of the reasons why we've added additional 8 hours, additional 8 contact hours for the purpose of question solving. There are a lot of questions in the ACCA question bank, which we always encourage students to attempt all the questions. But the truth is, we may not be able to assess everybody's soft question, apart from questions that are set as assignments for students to solve. And also, we are also encouraging tutors. And that's why when Uju was speaking earlier on, he was talking about know your tutor, right? Students should also have a relationship with the tutors. It's not enough to just come to class, answer questions. If you know your tutor, apart from what the school have, permit the tutors to solve in class, solve in question practice, solve homework, solve and respond to mock, a tutor can actually mark 4 mocks for you, 4 complete mocks before exam. It has happened and it's happening. But if you are not reaching out to your tutors, you may not be able to enjoy those benefits. Ivy League tutors are always willing. Another thing we are even doing now is trying to bring in people who will be responsible for things like this that you talk about, which is already in the pipeline. During the course of the diet, we will definitely introduce that. So, and I think that will answer your concern. David Olumiwa, I want to take the 2 questions at the same time, then we close. David, please ask your question, then Olumayawa, please ask your question so that we can round up. We've spent more than required time.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you also for the long lecture. My question is actually very straightforward. Just wanted to ask if we have access to the pre-recording for this Teams meeting, so we can always go back in case we have any inquiries. So we don't body our
100%.
just too much with the numbers for the Ivy League tutors. Like if we have questions, we can just go back and look at this recording, listen to it over and over again. That's just what I have.
All right. From the first day of registering, once your student account is set up, you have access to all the pre-recorded lectures for the diet. And then the live classes will be uploaded within 48 hours of every live class. And this you have access to the end of December. All right. We will not be able to take more questions. Please reach out to the admin. We thank you for your time. For those for waiting till this point, we are very grateful for your time. Thank you very much. We hope to see you in class. Mr. Etisong, thank you. You are a sure, pardon me, allow me to use the street language. You are a sure plug anytime, any day. And God bless you for that. Thank you, everyone. We hope to see you in class.
Absolutely, the Ivy League team. Please, a lot of the info is in the Q&A. If you can access it, it will help you.
Thank you so much. This was really insightful.